Hi everyone, and welcome to RollBound 2. I am your DM, Chas, and I'm going to go down the list and have everyone introduce themselves, starting with Groove.
Good tidings. I am Groove, and I am bound to the role of Jonathan Oneros Phage.
Alrighty, Allie.
Hello, I'm Allie, and I am bound to the role of Prince Xander.
Alright, Minnow.
Hello, I am Minnow, and I am bound to the role of Vivian Deshays.
Alright, Joey.
My name is Joey, and I'm bound to the role of Jay Elwood. Forgot his last name for a second.
Alright, Dakota.
Hello everyone, my name is Dakota, and I am bound to the role of Lysel.
And last but never least, Mickey.
Hi, I'm Mickey, and I am bound to the role of Emiko.
Alright. So, where we last left off, you guys had just fell the dinosaur that was terrorizing people in the area. Found out that this terror started a little bit before this incident in Mapleview, because there were adventurers sent to go retrieve this creature that ended up in their untimely demise, unfortunately. And when you were going through the ruins that you found the dinosaur nesting in, you also found out that they go a little bit further. And yeah, you discovered that on the far side of the larger chamber you were in, that there was a part that started to descend only slightly downwards, still barely catching the rays of the sun. And where we last left off, you guys had decided to go into that direction and explore further into this dungeon. So, when you move on, you find yourselves, I wouldn't say going underground. There's just some stairs that lead a little downwards into another fairly large room, similar to the one that you were just in, but nowhere near as broken down. A lot of the sun is blocked out, not really by there still being a roof, but by the fact that there's a bunch of growths of vines and tree branches and everything that basically the little holes that were made from whatever destruction befell this place, they kind of like weaved themselves through and created a new roof completely out of leaves and branches and roots. And the room doesn't seem to have been one that had much furniture. You can see the evidence of broken down statues and marble tile floors that expand outward. The room is almost perfectly square with one larger set of doors on the far end, but not far from the steps that lead down, there is a very, very, very old skeleton clinging to a book. And then, do any of you speak Draconic?
Not I.
Let me double check. I don't think I do.
Nay.
They do
I
not.
don't think I do either. I think I'm just coming from primordial. Yep.
Dude, the
None of
first
us speak
time-
Draconic.
No, the first time no one took fucking Draconic and we need it.
Nope.
Right.
I always take it if I'm an arcane caster, but guess what I didn't guess what I didn't play?
That's totally fine.
Any comprehend language gamers?
Just out of curiosity, Chess, would you consider a common to Draconic dictionary a trinket for the purposes of prestidigitation?
A
Yeah,
very...
Okay, we're not gonna get
my
into
vast
that.
array of trinkets that I have on this shelf. If you look here, there's one. It's called a fucking book. No.
Yeah, but at the very bottom of the steps as well, there is a plaque that sinks into the floor where the original words have been scratched out and barely illegible, and another set of writing was manually etched in underneath it. that is a language that none of you understand. And also, one last thing, just past the stairs, a little bit after the plaque and whatnot, when you get deeper into the room, there is this light blue fog that sort of clings to the floor, very low to the floor, maybe about a few inches up, that expands throughout the entire room, a few feet after the stairs.
So, skeleton holding book, plaque, fog.
Yes.
I would like to cast Mage Hand and see if I can grab the book from the skeleton.
Yeah, the book, the skeleton, being that it is dead, doesn't really have a tight grip on the book. However, when your mage hand lifts it out, the skeleton, slowly starts to lean to the side and just crumples over, to the side. Its arms, halfway falling off, and you can hear its skull click-clacking and rolling off in the distance.
Sweet. I'm gonna take a look at this book.
So the book is written in Common, and it seems to be a journal. It is written in the front. It says that it belongs to a man named Emery, a knight of the quote-unquote Platinum Order.
Can you send my name to the chat?
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Also, I do not believe y'all took a rest before coming in here, so if you want to do that real quick, you absolutely can.
We definitely took a short rest because I got my stuff back.
Okay, then I guess you did take a short rest. Okay. Let me put it in DM references. Yeah, and this journal doesn't have much written in it, Xander. The first page, the first few pages are kind of boring. You can tell that this journal is from 100 years ago based on the date. But the man talks about his life as a knight, says that the Knights of Palor basically gave them their own base of operations because what they were doing was very, very important. He just talks about his day-to-day life, but then it starts to get a little weird. He starts to say that one of his friends, one of his comrades, starts acting strange and very aggressive, and he says that he doesn't really understand why this friend of his is being very strange and aggressive. And after a while, as you flip through the pages, it seems that this happens more, where it's to a point where he believes that everyone in his group has been replaced. And that he's the only one left. And you read his descent into almost madness. And the last page, let me bring out my notes for this, because I obviously didn't write every single page of this fucking journal, because that would be a lot. There we go. On the last page, Emery writes, My order has been completely replaced by infernals from the hells, known as Disruptor Knights, I believe I heard them call themselves. I'm not even sure what that means. I was never taught about such a thing. No matter. There is another presence within here, and I will ask it to cleanse them, and then me. I don't know how much time I have. I don't know if they'll take me too, or what is going on here. Our order has fell. And I will ask that Usta Miralok will cleanse all of them. And then he basically just starts rewriting the same sentence over and over and over again, but just wording it in different fashion.
Xander gives a cursory read through of the journal and then looks to Sir Elwood and says, Sir Elwood, do you happen to have any knowledge of a so-called Platinum Order of Knights?
What do you want me to roll, Chas?
Go ahead and make me a history check.
No.
Guidance.
No, but it's 5.
Xander, like, kind of rubs his chin for a second and says, can't say I'm familiar with this particular order either. Perhaps we will find more clues up ahead.
Okay, so I don't know anything about the Platinum Order. Can I roll history for, like, the name specifically?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
Never mind, it's the same number.
Damn.
I guess I guess the roll was for both. The 2, by the way. Anybody was wondering.
Damn.
Yeah,
It's -1 intelligence.
I'm gonna roll a thing roll. Okay. As you go to stow the book, Xander, an envelope falls out of one of the... Because, again, the book is very old. It's not necessarily in the greatest shape. It's not very put together well. From part of the binding in the back, an envelope falls and just very gently cascades and plaps on the floor.
Get pregnant. Oh, sorry.
Bruh. Bruh.
Grab the envelope. Is it opened?
Yes, it looks like it has been, you know, when someone takes a very fine letter opener to peel off a wax seal so that it doesn't damage it in any way. It's very neatly opened.
I'm gonna take a look inside.
So, at first, the letter is written in common, but then slowly the wording starts to completely change. Do any of you speak Abyssal?
I speak the opposite of that.
I speak to Abyssal.
One such charming vampire does.
Yeah, so...
He's he's uncomfortably close to your shoulder, reading the text, breathing on your neck.
Yeah, if Xander shows the both of you, Vivian and Johnny, you both can read. At first, it says, now everyone can read this. Let me grab it. These orders are written and delivered on personal behalf of Lord Priscilla's advisor. And it says, your orders, as stated in your original briefing, are, and then this is where it breaks off into Abyssal, and then for the two of you that know Abyssal, your orders are to, one by one, eradicate the members of the Platinum Order and replace them. Once they are replaced, you will go on to the next step of the operation, in which I will send you another letter. If you deviate from these orders in any way, shape, or form, you will be brought back down to the Hells and quickly and swiftly executed. Remember who your lord is, and remember his goals. And then, Johnny, Vivian, or both, I'm agnostic as to which, go ahead and make me an Arcana check.
Guidance. 18.
I also cast guidance on myself, but I rolled a natural one, so we're not going to worry about it.
You said 18, Johnny?
Mm-hmm.
You notice that when the letter changes languages very suddenly, you also notice that kind of hidden within the writing itself are like small, hard to notice runes. And the magic isn't present in this letter anymore, as it is very, very old. or it has already been used up. But you imagine that this letter was not charmed, but whatever orders were being given were not only given in letter format, but they were given magically as well.
What's the implication of this?
With an 18, you can imply that either the beings that were being ordered were being charmed, or that they do not have the capacity to, like... Okay, better way to explain this. They're not sentient enough to just take orders. They have to be magically ordered. It's one of the two.
Can't read.
You heard it here, folks. Disruptor Knights can't read.
Yeah. Johnny will pull out this, like, old, crumpled book, a bunch of pages torn out, and he turns to one page and he lists this information off.
Well, I admit that all of this means very little to me.
Perhaps these disruptor knights remain in this labyrinth, more evil to be digested from this world.
Sounds dangerous. Let's go.
Did you have a question, Mickey?
From the skeleton, does it look like, it's like, how old does it look? Does it look like it was, like, picked clean, or it was, like, clean because it's been here for so long?
Make me a medicine check.
Guidance.
No.
Damn, that's the third no I've heard today. Yeah, you take a glance at it, Emiko, and the only thing you can really get is that it's just been here for an obscenely long time. Since it's so old, it's kind of hard to make out any clear details as to what exactly happened to it, but it fell apart by having something taken from its hands, so that's something.
Johnny will go and take a charcoal rubbing of the placard so we can have it translated later.
Cool. Ow. Ouch.
You said there's fog filling this room?
Yeah, it only hovers a few inches off the ground, but it is a light blue color.
I was gonna ask, doesn't seem natural, but if it's a light blue, I'm guessing no.
Yeah, no. You don't need to roll anything to know that it's not natural in any way.
Does it seem to be originating from anything?
Make me a perception check, Lysel.
Guidance.
Shit.
From whoever you want. There's fucking 3 of us that have it.
There's just gonna be a chorus of guidance every time.
I'll take it for Vivian, since we're off doing this. That's not. That's nice to talk a lot. So that's gonna be 28.
Lysel, you take a look around the room, trying to figure out if this, fog has any particular origin. If it does, it's definitely not in this room. As you can tell, again, I don't know if I said it very loudly, but there is a door on the opposite end from where you entered, and the fog seems to be seeping underneath the crack underneath the door as well. Meaning, if it does have an origin point, it could be further in.
I would like to reach down and, with an open bottle, gather up some of the fog and then cork it.
Yeah, and it remains. It doesn't dissipate or just turn into vapor inside of the glass. It remains and swirls within.
Okay, going in the backpack.
I step into the fog.
ritual cast detect magic before we go any further. Stab it up.
Xander, do you wait for Johnny to cast a spell, or do you just go?
Nope, I'm going.
Yeah, as Johnny starts to cast a spell, you step in, and nothing immediately happens. It feels uncannily cold, and you feel a shiver run down your spine, but nothing else seems to happen.
Great. Yeah. You said there's a doorway up ahead that all this fog seems to be like coming from?
Yes, it's a pair of double doors on the, like, direct opposite side of the room.
Awesome. I'm gonna go check that out.
Who tells it to go with you?
Yeah, and the same thing for you, Lysel. When you step into the fog, nothing really happens, but you do just get, like, a random up your spine.
Did it just get colder in here? Or is it just me? Oh.
It's just definitely not just you. Happened to me as well.
Do you think it's colder down below?
I don't know. Perhaps this fog is from some magical ice. I suppose we will soon see. Yeah, what's this double door looking like? I'm gonna check that out. That seems interesting.
Yeah, so it's a large double door, maybe about 10 feet tall. It doesn't have any handles or anything like that. It is reinforced. You can see that it's made out of, like, a lighter carved wood with metal reinforcements at certain parts to keep it strong. There is written in common, however, it just says, Temple of the Platinum Order.
I'm going to see if I can summon Anodyne on the other side of the door.
Yeah. With no issue, you summon her on the other side of the door.
I'm gonna look through her senses. Is there anything peculiar on the other side?
On the other side is just a dark, sort of hallway. That's very, despite the fact that this place's room's pretty well maintained, it looks like the destruction didn't make it to this part. The only thing I'd say is odd is that there are lit torches.
That is odd. She's gonna look at the door itself. Anything going on there?
On the other side of the door, in stark contrast between the side that you are looking at, there are a bunch of runes and carvings. They don't seem to be magical, they seem to just be crazed writing. There's writing in at least 3 different languages on the other side of the door. Some of them look like they were scratched in, like, not even with nice chisels, but like claws as they're splintering in the wood. And then there's also, you know when people leave hatch marks to count days?
Yeah.
There's some of those as well nearing the bottom of the door.
I'm gonna see if I can open the door from my side.
You give it a good push, Xander, and it doesn't budge.
I pull the door.
Nothing seems to happen either.
I'm gonna have Anodyne push the door.
It starts to give a little bit, but doesn't open all the way.
Okay, what's going on with this door?
Do I see a latching mechanism? Or a lock?
None of this might matter. I want to know what's the deal with this door.
You do see that despite it being kind of old, so some of it is given away, that there is in the, like, between the cracks of the 2 doors, there is something latching them shut. But it seems like this.
Latching them shut?
Yeah.
Do I see a mechanism that unlatches the door?
Yeah, it's called my boot. I'm gonna kick the door in.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Guidance.
17. Oh, plus guidance? Shit.
Actually, I'm gonna give you guidance too, just because that's still cool. It's not gonna do anything.
Hey, you know what? Let's make it a hat trick of guidance.
Stop, please.
Yeah,
Anybody want a
help.
4-bagger of guidance?
Wait, what did you say, Emika?
I said, can Emiko help?
Yeah, go ahead and make it with advantage.
Oh shit, it's a 27.
Yeah, so, Xander's trying to be, methodical, look, see if there's any way to unlock the door, it's not obviously trapped because he touched it, and then, Jay, you just go, fuck this, and you kick the door, and the centermost of it splinters, and the latch on the inside, which is metal, is so old with rust that it literally just snaps in half, and the door is meant to open from the other direction, so you, send the one door backwards in a way it's not meant to go, and the force of it sends the other door swinging forward the way it's supposed to go, and you, from the middle of the most of the door, just fucking shatter the locking mechanism and open it.
I didn't mean to overstep your expertise here, but when are we ever coming back here? I'm just being pragmatic.
Xander looks up at Jay and just kind of does a little golf clap and says, "Oh no, not at all. Jolly good show, sir."
Good, because I might do it again. In fact, I will do it again if there's another locked door.
I can already tell that annoying doors is going to be something of a sub-theme here. Alright, let's keep moving. And Xander is fucking walking.
I just dropped my Chex Mix all over myself.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Oh!
Did Johnny have a chance to use detect magic?
Yeah,
he can ritual cast while walking. There's nothing stopping him.
Yeah.
Okay, did Johnny have a chance? Thank you.
Yeah, he did. So, speaking of which, Johnny, you find out that this fog is basically a magical byproduct of a very large amount of both necrotic and transmutation magic. The fog itself doesn't really do anything, at least not in the sort of thinned out state of where you are, but you can tell that it is the byproduct, kind of magical remnants of something very icky, but no particular spells or anything like that in specific. More of the lasting afterthought of an effect that happened a long time ago.
Does it seem like any of us are bearing this magic, or it's being spread onto us?
No, it doesn't seem strong enough where you are to be able to do that. All it does is make you feel kind of cold.
Got it. Also awake right now, had to be.
What's the lighting condition, by the way? I know you said there were torches, but do they seem to be, effective?
There are torches. They're kind of, spread out in a way that makes the corridors dim lit.
Got it. Xander is going to grab one of these torches off the wall, if possible.
Yeah, they're
Is the torch magic, or is it a regular flame?
It is a regular flame.
Okay.
It is a regular flame. Sorry, I don't know why I ended that like I was going to continue. My bad.
If I look at the torch, how long does it seem to have been burning? Because obviously if it's a real flame on a real torch, it would only be able to burn for a certain amount of time before it would just go out and run out of fuel, right?
It looks like it had to have been lit, within the last 15 minutes.
Xander, noticing this, just out loud says, "Be careful. We're definitely not alone here."
Yeah, and...
Well, who else is with us?
There's the question, isn't it? I suppose we'll find out soon enough.
Well, with any luck, we'll spot them before they spot us.
And with any luck, maybe they're open to a drink rather than open combat.
True.
Yeah.
And, Xander is going to continue.
Yeah, as you
How
continue...
thick is this fog, by the way? Does it like completely keep us from seeing the floor?
Yeah. It does keep you from completely seeing the floor.
Oh.
So we're dealing with heavy obscurement.
Yeah.
I think Lysel would step in front of the group and start like tapping their billhook on the ground in front of them as they walk.
Oh yeah, your weapon's a 10-foot pole.
Do we want to put Johnny in front and I can sleepwalk and we can progress that way, be able to see stuff?
I mean, how wide's the hallway? Can we have y'all side by side?
Yeah, the hallway's wide enough for Lysel and Johnny to be side by side.
Sick.
Okay. Sleepwalking, detect magic is down.
Yeah, and as you progress, the corridor you're in isn't really long. It has a turn, and then you see a doorway where the door to it has been completely broken in. It is covered in dust and debris, like fallen stones, because the building is still partially crumbling apart, just nowhere near as much as the, like, original area. And you see a well-lit room up ahead.
Going forward. Keeping an eye out.
Yeah, Lysel nor Johnny, you don't see any traps or any weird things going on with the floor as you progress forward. And when you make it into the next room, it looks to be like it was some sort of common area, like relaxation area. There's broken furniture, some counters that might have been used to hold or make drinks. There's a broken, rotted sofa that is torn to pieces and its fluff is scattered everywhere. And there is some, like, storage units, including 4 very nice gilded chests that are along the side walls of the room, but on like they're parallel from each other. So there's 2 next to each other on one side and 2 next to each other on the other side of the room, as well as a few, like, miscellaneous barrels and such. The torches are lit in here as well, along with the chandelier candelabra thing dangling from the ceiling. It's mostly broken, but it's...
Is there fog in here still?
Yes.
Okay. And do we see any other entrances or exits?
Yes. In the... Let me look at this room from the perspective that I need to tell you correct information. So in the middle of the room on the left side is the start of another hallway, and then in the top right side of the room there is another door. So there's one exit that's just an open walkway, and then there's another door.
And you said middle left?
Yes. And then also, sorry, I didn't scroll.
You said there's a door?
In the middle left of the room is just an opening into another hallway. There's no door or anything, it's just an archway. And then in the top right is another door. So there's 2 exits to this room.
Top right, door.
You're saying top right. Is this like a second floor?
No. I just said it like I was looking at a map. My bad.
Okay.
Northeast door, then.
Yeah. Sorry.
Is the door stone or wood?
It is made out of reinforced wood, similar to the one that you saw when you entered this place. Also, I am so sorry. I forgot to mention one more thing, because I didn't scroll far enough down in my notes. In the middlemost of this room, where, like, one of the ruined tables is, there is a chair that has a limp set of armor in it. Obviously, it was worn by somebody, but their body is decayed so much that it literally looks like the suit of armor is just sitting in the chair.
So it's like a hollow suit of armor, or is there still like a corpse in it?
There's still parts of a corpse in it, just not a full one, because it's so old.
I'm going to cast Eldritch Blast targeting the armor.
Wait, don't desecrate the fucking corpse. I want to see what the armor is.
Does Xander give a chance for us to do anything about that, or does Xander just like see armor and blast it?
He sees the armor and holds up the hand with the ring on it and says, I don't like the way that arm is looking at me.
Hold
Okay.
on a second. Armor doesn't have eyes. It can't very well look at you any more than I can look at it. Now let me
Viz-
see here. 1 second.
Viv's going to cast Mage Hand. Can I lift up the faceplate on the helmet?
Yeah.
See the face inside?
Yeah, and when you do, eerily preserved in comparison to what other parts of the body you see what looks like the twisted visage of like, this sounds like a little wonky, but bear with me. It almost looks like if you took like a wraith and melded it with a dragon. It looks like instead of a head, it's like a literal hole that you would see if you were looking into someone wearing a dark hood with scales that go up the quote-unquote cheeks, even though it doesn't look like they should be there. And there are teeth that are open, like the mouth is open with teeth on the inside where it looks like it's been locked in a perpetual scream.
Are there eyes looking back at us?
There are not. The creature does not have any.
Vivian will say that's a point for Sir Elwood. Can I remove the helmet entirely?
Yeah. When you remove the helmet, again, it just looks like a shadow that somehow has features attached to it. Again, its mouth is open in a perpetual screen. There's silver scales lining its cheeks and neck.
Have we seen any insignias thus far of the Platinum Order, or any like tapestries, murals, anything that would cue us into that something on this armor could be part of that?
Make me an investigation check, Jay.
Fuck.
I will help you and give you guidance. So I'm proficient in investigation.
How about you just do the investigation?
All right. Would you like to help me?
I can't. I don't have proficiency in
Oh, shit.
investigation.
Oh,
All right,
shit.
that's fine. I'll take
I can give you help on that.
All right, thank you.
I give
Boy,
you guys
what a
the
great-
ideas.
Great time for help too, because that was another natural one, but instead it becomes a 18.
You can see that there are tapestries on the wall that have similar decorum to the other parts of the building that are still destroyed but recognizable. And you even see that there are like the corpse that was out in the first room had a, its own set of armor. It was mostly destroyed and mostly made out of leather, but it stuck to the particular theme. However, this creature is not wearing the same armor. It's a bit more jagged and silver in color, and it has a completely different insignia than all of the other decorations throughout the keep. But it almost looks like it took the original armor and changed or morphed it. Because you can kind of see some same shapes and things to the original set of armor based on the person you saw in the first room and other things, but it looks like it was morphed somehow to create a new set of armor.
Got it. Does the armor look salvageable at all?
It is very, very badly broken, but you could probably find someone to fix it if you decided to take it with you.
What kind of armor is it?
It would, if you fixed it, become half plate.
Oh.
I don't want that bad. We need that.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we can fix it too if we give us some tools.
I was just thinking melting it down, but yeah.
It's a bit odd that they would leave a body sitting around if they're still lurking about here.
I find it odd they would leave a set of half plate lying around.
Do you think it's one of the disruptor knights?
That could be. It looks not like a normal knight.
It does seem to be the most likely option.
Xander, by the way, I removed the helmet if you want to blast the head.
Xander shrugs. I Eldritch Blast ahead.
Yeah, I don't even make you make an attack roll for it. You fucking pulverize the face and it turns into a very fine black dust.
I believe we call that in the business a compromise. Anything else in this room apart from this set of armor and a dude?
There was the 4 chests.
Okay.
Oh yes, the chest.
Let's grab the armor first, and then move over to the chests, just in case. Everyone cool with that?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Great.
Getting a drink real quick.
Vivian will start to remove the armor, and then as she's like doing it, she just kind of like pulls on it, and it just lurches the whole body to the side. And then she's like, "How the fuck do they get this off?" And requests Sir Elwood's help.
What am I helping you remove?
The armor.
Oh, just the rest of the
She-
armor. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't seem to realize just how many pieces there are to armor. And it's
Yeah, there's a
vexing her.
lot.
It's a bit of a process, yeah.
Yeah, and without any struggle, really, especially since it's on a mostly vaporized corpse, you are able to wriggle the pieces of armor off Jay, and you can mark down in your inventory, or whoever wants to hold it, that you have a set of ruined Disruptor Knight armor.
Some of that black dust. You said that the head exploded into black dust
Yeah,
when Xander shot it. Can I scoop some of that black dust up?
you absolutely can.
Sweet.
When you get it though, Vivian, this very familiar chill runs down your spine, and it almost feels like the dust whispers to you for a very split second.
hmm She bottles it and just kind of tosses it in her back. Doesn't say anything.
How about them chests, though?
I'm like, I can open the chest.
I mean, yeah, Lysel will help you. Hit
Should we
that
do
end,
some-
I'll hit the other.
Should we do some classic investigating the chest for traps first?
Nah.
Vivian,
I mean,
Vivian
it's
is
supposed to be a living quarters. Why would they trap their own chests? It seems quite foolish.
true. Vivian is busy right now, so if you just want to do it,
There was
All
a
your
paranoid
bliss.
schizophrenic in their midst.
A little over the
Yeah.
top
Another one?
security. Hey, I kicked your footlocker by accident instead of mine, and now I don't have a foot anymore.
what did you learn?
What did you learn?
I'm not allowed to be in the military if your footlocker is at the foot of your bed, I suppose. Suppose that's what I learned.
I've learned that I'm being medically discharged and I'm 23.
Yeah.
So, Emiko, you're just gonna open the chest?
Yeah.
Lysel is too.
I'm just gonna open chest 4.
Chest 4?
And then Lysel will go to the opposite chest. If they're all on the line, they're going to be on the opposite end of them.
Well, there's 2 on each side of the wall.
Yeah, there's
Oh, okay.
there's 2 on one side of the room and 2 on the other side of the room.
So just on the other side of the room, then.
Yeah, Emiko, when you open the chest, it's not locked in any way. The lid is a little bit heavy, but otherwise you open it with, pretty good ease. Oh, I'm on the wrong fucking... No, I'm like, where'd all my shit go? And on the inside, you find, a bunch of rolls of parchment, that's all, like, nicely rolled up. You also find a few old, dried-out inkwells that maybe if you put some water in it, they could work again. But you also find a very nice, bottles. You find 2 of them that have a pristine red liquid on the inside.
Yeah, Emiko is gonna like kind of like dig through the chest, throwing like scrolls out. Like, as she's like digging through it, you can hear like some of the inkwells just shattering on the ground as she's like tossing things. And then she's like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah.
And she holds up the bottle.
Yeah, Emiko, you found 2 potions of healing.
Woo.
And
Some
then
poor scribe is rolling over in his grave, I say.
yeah, the papers are all over the room. The inkwells are shattered, leaving like black dust all over the floor. That was basically the ink in its powdered state. Lysel, however, you open the chest, and it's very difficult at first, as you try to, like, you know, the other one was unlocked and easy to open, but you try to, get a good grip to, you know, wriggle the thing open, and then you feel this hot current of air come over your hands and arms as you try to open it. And then when you look at the chest to figure out what is happening, you see a glowing orange eye staring up back at you.
Guys, I don't think all of these are chests.
No.
Well, if it's a mimic, then kill it. It's
Yeah.
easy. It's a mimic. Just kill it. Stab it.
Yeah, but before that, Lysel, you're gonna get bit. I need everybody to roll initiative.
Ah, see, you were too late. All you had to do was just stab it.
The duality of dice. Hey, you know, no, we got 12 story and we'll reroll it. That's a little better.
Man, Xander sucks at initiative. Holy fuck.
Lysel does a 16 hit.
Yes, a 16 does in fact hit.
That's not right. That's right.
I got a natural 1 on initiative.
Did I fail initiative?
Not right. Not right. That's right.
Okay, so you take 5 points of piercing damage and 3 acid damage.
Ouch.
As the mimic opens up its maw and basically tries to bite your arms.
I think it doesn't just try, I think it succeeds based on the damage.
Yeah, it does. It just, you know, tries to munch on your arms a little bit. It doesn't get to hold you, though. Doesn't.
It's got me! It's got me!
Alright, let me just get this initiative in here real quick. Oh my god, 15, 16, here we go. It's gonna follow me everywhere. 11. Oh my god, and then 11, 12. I'm gonna die. Okay, and then these two assholes. Ooh, not great. This one's alright, but still not great. There we go. And the chest next to the one that you opened, Emiko, also like 6 orange eyes open on it. I don't have a map for this particular room, but okay, there we go.
Taking a licking.
So, all right. First up in initiative is Jay. There are 2 mimics, one on each side of the room, next to Lysel and Emiko.
Alright, is there a tabletop for this or not?
There is.
Yes.
It's not particularly detailed, but it'll at least give you a diagram of measurements and whatnot.
Alright. I forgot I have my tools open, so it takes me forever to get to the game I'm looking for. Come on, tabletop.
Yeah, I didn't map every room in this dungeon. I just, you know, I mapped the cool ones.
Yeah, chances are I'm going to be going after the mimic that currently has a hold on Lysel, but I want to check.
That one's within range. Also, this room should be a little longer.
Oh, Emiko's on that mimic? That mimic's fucked. Yeah, I'm gonna go help Lysel. I'm gonna move the 10 feet to get over there, or 15 feet. I didn't count. I should have, but I didn't. I still have that greatsword because I never got rid of it. So I'm gonna pull out that greatsword because This mimic ain't shit, and I'm gonna hit it. It's a 23 to hit for 10 points of slashing damage. And I don't want to use any smite slots on that. I'm just looking for the raw slashing damage right now, so 10.
Yeah.
It's being raw.
Let me... Okay. Alright.
Let go, you little fucker.
Alright, yeah. Damage is noted. Anything else for your turn?
Nah, that's my turn.
Alright. Emiko, it is your turn. You see the chest next to the one that you opened opens, and a bunch of, like, its sharp teeth and drool dripping off of the wood sides of its mimicked form. What do you do?
This is probably a stupid idea, but I'm gonna go punch it. Does a 21 hit?
A 21 absolutely hits.
Okay, I'm gonna use my hand of farming. Do I need to separate necrotic damage?
I do not believe so, no. No.
Okay, so it's gonna be 10 points of damage. And then I'm gonna use my bonus action to hit again. Does a 15 hit?
Yes.
Okay, and then it's gonna be another 6 points of bludgeoning damage.
I believe since you're a monk and you're using your handsies to attach, would that make its adhesive trait work? I'm pretty sure it would, right? Am I crazy?
Probably.
You bitch slap a mimic, do you stick to it?
Honestly, think so.
I guess.
Yeah, as your strikes hit it, your last one, you know, when you make the last punch, you always, like, hold your hand and, like, "Grr!" and then you, like, try to pull it away. And the, mimic gurgles at you as it now has you grappled. Anything else for your turn?
I think Emiko's gonna... no, she's gonna keep her feet free for the moment. Yeah, that's my turn.
Alright. Johnny, it is your turn.
Have the mimic make me... How close is the mimic to Johnny currently? Can anyone tell me?
One of the mimics is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 feet away, and the other one is like 15 feet away, I think. No, the other one's 20.
Perfect. Yeah, the one that is grappling Emiko needs to make an intelligence saving throw. DC 14.
You know, truth be told, it's not good at those. That's a 10.
Yeah, so the mimic is in a room full of the finest treasure, and as it goes to begin gorging itself, it finds that all of the gold coins were actually themselves mimics, and they begin feasting on the chest, and it wakes up. It takes 6 psychic damage and has a -4 to its next saving throw. End of turn.
Alright. Speaking of which, it is that mimic's turn. Alright. Well, it doesn't say that it can't attack anything it's grappling, so I'm just gonna... Emiko, you're gonna get bit. That dice there, 'cause it's just one. Does a 16 hit?
It does not.
Yeah, you see it, with the way that you have in particular stuck yourself to it, it tries to, like, get a good grip on you. It's, like, snapping at you, constantly shaking and trembling, little tendrils of slime coming out of creaks in the wood to try to get a good angle on you to snap at you, but it can't quite make any purchase. That'll be the end of its turn, which means, Vivian, it is your turn.
So at the end of Emiko's turn, when she got grappled, you moved her 5 feet down. Did she move that 5 feet, or
Oh,
did
no,
the mimic
I
move her
didn't-
5 feet?
No, I didn't mean to do that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, she would still be diagonal. I just mainly did that to make it make sense that it was holding her, but no, she wouldn't
100%.
have actually moved.
Cool, just wanted to double check, so I'm going to run up around here using 25 feet of my movement. Oh, I'm falling. Great. And I'm going to reach out above me. She is going to pull some of the air from above, and it begins to vibrate in her hand. And then she takes and strikes it down into the ground, and there is an explosive sound as I cast Thunder Wave centered in front of me. The mimic needs to make a Constitution saving throw.
Which has a -4 to.
It's a -4.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, not. Yeah, without the -4, it would have succeeded, but no, that is a 13.
Okay, so it's going to get pushed back 10 feet, ending the grapple on Emiko. And it's going to take a total of... what is it, 2d8? I haven't played a caster in years. 12 points of thunder damage. Also, anything that was in that cube in front of me that was not being worn or carried is also blasted back. And it creates a thunderous boom out to 300 feet.
Yeah, so you see it get fucking yeeted, and all of the paper on the floor and some of the rubble just gets tossed to the other side of the room. And the creature
Alright,
just starts hissing and gurgling on the ground.
And Vivian will then continue to look forward. The weasel on her shoulder looks over to Gale, and Viv says, "Great, now kick its ass." And with her remaining 5 feet of movement, she's going to hide behind Emiko. And that'll be my turn.
Alright, Lysel, it is your turn. You are also being grappled because it bitchin'. If you touch it, you get stuck.
So I thought you were gonna add more there.
I was, but that's because I had to read.
Read?
Yeah, you can either keep punching it in the face at disadvantage, but also if you use your action to escape, that is also a disadvantage due to its adhesive trait.
Do I have to punch it, or can I use my weapon?
No, I said punch just as a stand-in for beating the shit out of it.
That's valid. No, I think we're gonna try and hit it because I'm not very good at escaping things. So you said a disadvantage?
Yes.
That might did. Alright, so it's gonna be me. Do we know if a 14 hit already?
That hits.
Okay. I didn't know what the lowest thing rolled to hit was, so I was gonna see if I wanted to bump it up or not. And you know what? Why not? We'll pump a soul into it, get that little bit extra damage.
Kick its ass.
16, 18, 19, 11, 12 points of damage from the the billhook.
Yeah, you fucking bonk it on the head, and it just goes.
Yeah, you guys see they'll jam it the end of the billhook into it and try and use it to pull their arm out of the mouth, just having no luck and actually wedging it free. So it's just get up. What is this thing? Ugh, gross.
Anything else for your turn, Lysel?
No, that's my action, and I don't really have anything to do for my bonus action at this point in time.
Alright, well, it is that mimic's turn. It is going to bite you. No, but that's a natural 3, so, you just smack the shit out of it, kind of disorienting it you confused an animal by hitting it on the nose, and it just starts salivating as it's trying to bite you, but you've wedged yourself in a way where it can't really get the force. Anything else? Nope, I don't think so. No.
It's too spicy.
Too spicy. Xander, it is your turn.
I am going to cast Eldritch Blast at the mimic that Lysel is by. What's the floor made of?
Marble tile.
Okay, so as Xander concentrates, the hand with the signet ring out in front of him, bits of floor that have just, crumbled away and kind of deteriorated over time, coalesce into basically just a collection of small little pebbles that become a larger rock and then slam into this mimic. Unfortunately, the attack is not very effective. The stones bounce off, as I got a total of 10 to hit.
Yeah,
which
that
I assume does not beat its AC.
it does not.
I am then going to bonus action cast Magic Stone. Xander reaches into a pouch at his side, pulls out 3 pebbles. They begin glowing with a purple energy, and he tosses them over to Emiko and says, "Here, use these. Won't be able to stick to you if you're throwing shit at it." And that will be the end of my turn.
Yeah, the big rock falls apart into a bunch of pebbles over the mimic, and it just kind of like shakes Lysel like a fucking rabid dog with a chew toy, just and we are back to the top of the round. Jay, it is your turn.
See, there we go. All you gotta do is hit it. See? Easy.
He's gonna take his great sword. 24 to hit, another 11 points of slashing damage. Is this one fucking dead yet?
What was the damage one more time? I'm so sorry.
11.
No, it is still up.
Fuck. Die.
Hey, I'm just saying this is a vanilla mimic. I didn't make it.
Yeah, I know, but we've been hitting it a lot.
It's still up.
Alright, what is this? How long did temporary hit points last?
I think that's varied
Just
on...
until they don't, right?
Yeah.
Unless there's any
Delay
stipulation
long
on
rest.
them, they last until you take a long rest.
Yeah, it doesn't say. Okay. In that case, I am gonna pump a smite slot into it.
Sweet. Give me the extra damage.
Which is gonna be an extra 2d8, so another 12 points of radiant damage. And
Yeah,
then,
ow.
as a bonus action, I'm going to take that 12 hit points that I dealt to the mimic, and I'm going to distribute it. Let's give 6 to Lysel and 6 to... let's give 6 to Emiko as well.
Are these 6 temporary at once?
Yeah, 6 temporary hit points.
And what does that look like when you do that, Jay?
Yeah, so Jay with the big ass sword kind of holds it out in front of him. Seeing Lysel is able to augment his attacks, he thinks, "Oh, why didn't I think of that?" And he slams down with the sword, just driving the edge as far as it'll go into the mimic. And then just before pulling the sword out, he grabs the blade with his gauntleted hand, and as he rips the blade out, you can see this golden energy sort of dripping from the tip. He kind of swings the sword off to the side as if he's cleaning it off, and the golden goop gets over Lysel and Emiko and then absorbs into them. And you guys, for some reason, even though it looks gross as hell, feel enlightened.
Glorious.
Indeed.
Also, why isn't that mimic dead yet?
Yeah, alright. Speaking of which, Emiko, after being enlightened by Jay, it is now your turn. The mimic has been pushed away from you, and you are free! And you'll be given
I
some
have
rocks.
a question.
I have an answer.
If I used Silent Image to create a blindfold on the mimic, would that count as physically interacting with it for the mimic?
How do you mean?
Okay, cause I want to like try to like make this mimic think it's like blind, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like it has like a thing in the spell if it physical interaction with the object reveals that it is an illusion. Would it be physically interacting with it because it's on its face, or would it just have to like try to like touch it? Like I just want to like.
Can the illusion hover in any way? Because you can cover something's vision without directly touching it, if it can, you know, move around.
I mean, it
and
doesn't
stuff like
say
that.
it doesn't say that it can't.
You know what? Just because I think that's an interesting use of your racial trait, I will allow it.
Okay. I'm gonna do it on the mimic that I was fighting that got knocked back 10 feet and yeah. It can use its action to make an intelligence check. Intelligence investigation check against my spell and save DC to determine if it's fake or not.
Yeah, that's you know, not gonna lie to you, I don't think it'll ever pass that. I'm just saying. This thing has an intelligence score of 5.
Damn.
It only knows how to slobber and eat.
That's my turn.
All right, Johnny, it is your turn.
Another intelligence saving throw. Same one?
Same one?
Yes.
-2.
That is going to be 4 psychic damage, and it has a -4 to its next saving throw. End of turn.
Speaking of which, it is that one's turn. What is the range of it?
It's having a time.
It is having a time.
It's so confused.
Okay, so it's still... Yeah, it just starts roaming around like, what the fuck? What the fuck? What the hell? What the hell? And then, like, you see its slimy tongue, like, flip out like a lizard and smack the ground, and then it recoils because it just hit hard tile. And, that's just a flavor thing. But it's gonna try to see if there's an illusion on its face, but I don't, you know, we're gonna do it because it's funny. That's a -1.
Yeah.
Yeah, the creature just went blah, blah, just sitting there being confused and annoyed. Vivian, it is your turn.
How messed up is the one that is on Lysel right now?
You see that there is this deep green ichor leaking out of the cracks in the wood. It is very badly injured.
I'll still use a guiding bolt. I don't wanna risk rolling a 1 on a d8. So I'm gonna attack. That hits with 15 plus stuff.
Oh yeah.
A total of. I just have this one open. I decided I'm making that roll for myself.
46.
Great. Yes. 19 points of radiant damage.
Yeah, and as your spell slams into this creature's body, the lid, quote unquote, of the chest, as you would say, opens up very wide, and the creature flops onto the ground. It is deceased.
Great. And the other one's still running around.
Yeah, this other one is just being stupid.
I will continue to hide behind Amiko, and that'll be my turn.
Oh, right. Okay. Lysel, it is your turn.
Now being freed from the mimic that had taken hold of their arm, they're gonna shake some of the saliva off of their arm and kind of take a look around and see how the others are faring, and realize that there's just the one mimic left at this point. Would you say that this creature is blinded, giving advantage on attacks due
It
to
is.
delusion? Okay, so that's gonna turn what would normally be a hit as Lysel dashes over into a critical hit.
Woo!
So they just dash over and slice this thing's tongue clean off with a total of 16 points of damage.
Doo-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-doo.
Or at least try to. I don't know how much health it has left.
It had 15 hit points left, so as you slice this thing's tongue off, it starts to retch and screech and shake until it falls onto the ground, remaining just an open chest. And we are out of initiative.
Well, if there's still people here, I'm sure they know we're here now.
Are you hurt? Myself?
I'm okay, I suppose.
I'm gonna use a key point to use my hands of healing. For a total of 6 HP.
With that healing, what was a couple of cuts and kind of major-ish bruises on Lysel's arms and maybe even the visible part of their neck and or chest area becomes a couple of very small, almost unnoticeable bruises.
I just want to make sure I have the timeline of events correct. We did not take a long rest between
No.
last session and this one?
No.
Okay, so
We took
Are
a
you
short
sure?
rest, though.
well, I didn't have any HP damage, so...
Alright. And then, since these, what's within the mimics, because you don't need to do an in-depth search, they are now just kind of fleshy chests. What remains in the last of the chests are, 12 gold pieces,
Ooh.
a very, ornate-looking pen, that looks like it is black and silver and has very pretty silver etchings in it. Despite the fact that this place is really old and stuff, the pen looks in perfect shape. And then you also find a what looks to be a holy symbol that has this sort of darkened gray energy clinging to it.
Do we by any
I don't
chance?
suppose there's 100 GP Pearl in there.
I was just gonna say we gotta go fucking pearl diving. Okay. Great. So we have half plate busted up. Half plate don't need to be fixed. 12 GP. Fancy magic pen. Less fancy magic. Amulet. Anything else in this room?
Not particularly, unless you guys, want to take any of the old tattered tapestries.
Xander's just looking at the two dead mimics, kind of wide-eyed, and says, "The fuck was that? Those boxes came to life. I've never seen anything like that before in my life."
You've never seen a mimic before?
No!
Oh, well, you just did.
Do.
Yes.
Are they always treasure chests?
No, sometimes they're tables, sometimes they're chairs. Sometimes they're whole dungeons.
And he wiggles his fingers.
I once heard a story of one that was an
Visibly
outhouse.
disturbed.
Xander just slowly looks up at the ceiling.
But this one isn't. We would have been digested already. Don't you worry.
Unless it's playing with its food.
Oh, great.
Oh, stomach acid doesn't play around. I don't know if you've ever experienced it firsthand. I haven't, but I know people that have, and it was not pretty.
I kind of just did.
See? Wasn't pretty.
Yeah,
feel
your
great.
bony hands, Lysel, feel achy.
Achy and icky.
Achy
Um,
and icky.
You said there's some like tattered tapestries. I don't know if we've met before, Chas, but in the second session of D&D that I ever played with Allie, I took a pickaxe to the walls because there was gold filigree in them. I'm going to take a quick look down at these tapestries. Is there anything on there that looks like some sort of... You said there was like the symbols before that led us to believe the other symbols had been messed up.
Yeah,
Is
so
there anything here that looks historically valuable?
the tapestries would be. People take, just even if they're mostly tattered, they're still recognizable. They just look old and moth-eaten. But they're still 100-plus-year-old tapestries of a fallen knight order.
Great. How many are there?
There are 6 of them total.
Great. Could we reasonably carry them out of here? We rolled them up?
Yeah, if you rolled them up, you could easily carry them.
Great, we're taking all 6. Chuck them in the
Absolutely.
bag. 6
Hell
historical tapestries. You give me a low fund campaign, I give you Loot Goblin.
And you're a goblin.
Literal
Goblin these
loot goblin.
nuts.
I mean, it just fits. I mean, Vivian's just been taking everything they get hands on.
Wait, is it the 3rd session and that's the first time we've gotten a goblin these nuts? That is so hard for me to believe. I didn't think we were going to make it out of the first 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think
I don't
that's the
think
first
the word goblin was spoken actually in game. I was
Okay.
waiting.
Other than when you said, like, she's a young goblin.
Oh, but
Yeah,
I
that's
didn't want to. I didn't want to interrupt
Yeah.
the character intro.
Oh, you were muted, so did you say it on mute?
I did say it while I was
Okay.
muted to myself. Yes,
Goblin these
I
nuts.
said it exactly like that. It's such a goblin these nuts.
Great. Great, so we have stuff. Was there another door out of here?
There's
Also-
2. Oh, go ahead.
Also, is the fog still in this room?
Yes.
Do we see the source of the fog in here?
It is not in here, no.
Great. Does it seem like it's coming from one door or the other?
It is evenly distributed across both.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Left or right, people?
The door, so we have to risk opening a trapped door. The open hallway, I mean.
Xander is going to go to the door. I think you said there was. You said top right. There was a reinforced wooden door. So I'm gonna go check that one out. See what's going on there. Xander, now learning that objects can be creatures, is being a little bit more cautious now. I'm gonna make an investigation check for a total of 19, unless I need to roll at disadvantage because of the fog.
No, because the fog clings too low to the floor. Yeah, you take a cursory look at the door, and it doesn't appear to be a mimic. It's not breathing or anything, but you notice that there is, like, the start of some type of, mechanism near the top of the door, but it doesn't look like it bleeds into this side of the room. It looks like it is something on the other side of the door, but you see the start of it on this side.
Great. I'm gonna summon Anodyne on the other side and look through her senses. What's going on?
Basically this door is rigged to where if it opens from the side of it that you're on, it would drop acid on you.
Oh, joy.
Is it locked?
It does appear to be locked. You see on the other
Okay.
side that the, not only is the door, sorry, I said that funny.
I'm gonna have Anodyne step back about 15 paces. I'm gonna cast Mage Hand, summoning it on the other side of the door while I'm looking through her senses. I'm gonna have the Mage Hand unlock the door. I'm gonna have everybody step back at least 20 feet, and then open the door from the side that it is locked from.
Yeah, when the mage hand opens the door, there is a, like, basically you hear this quick succession of, like, 4 bottles breaking, and it looks like opening the door caused 4 bottoms to be busted one by some sort of mechanism that's on, like, a rickety chain that makes it go tick, 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 and it breaks the bottom of each of the bottles as the door is pulled open, because the door pulls a chain that sets off this motion, and then just a large, like, 5 vials worth of acid just falls into the doorway, spilling onto the ground.
You know, I'm beginning to wonder what kind of imbeciles would live in a place with their own traps. Like, it seems so inconvenient.
Maybe they just never used this door.
I also don't think they did much living here.
Also, it's frequently used mimics.
Yeah, the corpse.
Yep. Once the acid has, reacted enough to not be harmful anymore, Xander is going to step through the doorway, recalling Anodyne into the ring, and seeing what's in this direction.
Yeah, give me...
how wide is this hallway, actually?
It's about 10 feet wide.
Okay.
All of the
with
hallways
that in
seem to
mind-
be big enough to allow multiple people to walk through standing next to each other. Makes sense for it being...
Yeah, I think Xander takes like 2 steps into the hallway, thinks for a moment, and says, on second thought, Lysel and Johnny, do we want to go this way?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, I'm gonna let the 2 people who can actually, detect things in this fog go first. Because I cannot.
Moving.
So yeah, Lysel is going to walk alongside Johnny into the hallway with the door that they just opened. Presuming the previous technique of using the end of the billhook as a means of making sure there's no false floors ahead of them with all this fog. Or, traps.
Sorry, I am moving, y'all.
How dare you?
Oh, shit. I accidentally locked the dorks. No. There we go. So, again, you navigate through a particularly narrow corridor. There is another opening that leads into a well-lit room, once again fitted with torches. And you open into a wide and tall room with marble floors and several broken beyond repair weapons scattered about the floor, along with skeletons and bones. This looks like it was some sort of armory or training room. There are statues. There are 2 statues in the middle of the room that are facing each other with more of the tattered tapestries dangling down, but they are in much more disrepair than the other ones. They're barely recognizable, other than the hooks hanging from the chains and the tattered pieces of fabric. In this room, let me draw on this. Let me see. There is... It will, now that it's locked. The way that you came in... Another walkway behind this ruined statue. And then... up here is a slightly ajar but already opened door.
DM, I have a question.
I have an answer.
Does it seem like that statue was moved? Because that seems like a very weird place for a statue.
The one that's right here?
Yeah, the one that's right in front of a walkway?
It does. It does look like it was moved. It's also completely shattered. But a few notes about this room again. There is completely ruined debris and tables and weapons. There are several skeletons scattered about the floor. But these two statues that are in the middle of the room, that are of renowned figures in very fine robes. One of them is carrying a book, and appears to be very important, and the other one is wielding a giant great hammer and has it like stuck into the ground and is standing all mighty. But the weird thing about these two statues is that they appear clean.
As opposed to everything else in the room, which looks dingy and aged.
Absolutely.
Xander, taking this all in, just says out loud, "Let the record show. I hate this."
And if I could have Xander, or anyone else if you want to, but I'm specifically picking on Xander, make me a perception check.
Yeah, I can make that.
I know that this is.
Actually,
I know,
just kidding, it's a 12.
I know this is going to be a really
Based.
weird question,
I have
but
an
the
answer.
thing that we're using perception on, is it
Never mind.
is it a creature that is hiding from us? Because if so, I have blind sight to 10 feet.
No. It is not to
No,
detect
okay.
a creature that is hiding from you.
All right. Oh shit! I got a nat 20 anyways.
Yeah, for those who got a 13 or higher,
I was one shy.
another thing that you notice is that the statue that is holding actually, let me make sure that I'm not bullshitting you on this. I'm so sorry. Hello? Oh, it's because I noted it right here. Yeah, that's right. No, I was wrong. The statue that is holding the great hammer, the really large warhammer, not a great hammer, those are different, has a pristine amulet draped around its neck that is obviously not part of the statue.
How big is this amulet? Is it scaled to the statue, or is it, like, person-sized?
The statue itself is mainly a little more than person-sized, and the amulet looks a bit small and barely clings to it. So, the amulet is normal-sized for, like, a person. And this amulet has been draped around this statue.
Does the amulet look like the one that was around the Allosaurus?
It does not. It actually has a very pretty well-maintained golden chain, and the medallion is like a flat golden plate with 5 different gems on it that are really small, that are all of different colors. And a symbol in the middle.
Johnny, now seems like a very good time to make sure that nothing in this room is dangerous, if you understand.
Yeah, going to wake up. And can I, due to the feature you have granted me, see if either of these statues are unconscious or dreaming?
Yeah, go ahead and make me a perception check at advantage.
It's a 5.
They do not seem to be. They just seem like regular statues to you. Also, give me 2 seconds.
Sure.
I just have to stand up and grab something real quick.
Okay. Waking up and casting Detect Magic. Ritual.
I think while you're ritual casting Detect Magic, I'm going to ritual cast Speak with Animals.
I think Lysel got distracted by the slightly ajar door and went over to have a look at that as they got a natural 1 on the perception to see the amulet.
What is that, like our 4th natural one today? It's super
Okay.
unlucky.
Okay, I'm back. Sorry, I had to grab my book. Okay. But I did hear that. So you're over here. I'll say right here by now. Does anyone else have anything they want to do while Johnny is casting his spell?
I don't know if you heard me, but I'm ritual casting Speak with Animals.
Okay. So got that. And Lysel, you said you were gonna go take a look at the ajar door.
Yeah, they're gonna like poke their head inside and see like what's on the other side. Or not really necessarily poke their head inside, but kind of like have a look at it. If it doesn't appear like there's people immediately on the other side of it, then maybe poke their head through.
Yeah, when you peek your head through, you see, in contrast to the areas you've been before, you see the start of a walkway, but it doesn't look like it's a nice building anymore. It looks like it starts to go downwards into, like, carved out of stone set of stairs. So it looks like this part of the dungeon starts to go underground, rather than, you know, just being part of a building. And at the very bottom of the carved out, very ragged and uneven steps, there is light. But there's no people.
Hey, there's a staircase on the other side. It appears to go down. I think it goes into some kind of a deeper terrain than what we're currently in. There's a bit of light down there too. I'm not really sure what it's coming from.
Yeah, and then
Why don't you close the door for now? So if something is down there, they can't hear us while we're up here. I guess they didn't like that idea.
And then Johnny, when you said detect magic, right? I'm not crazy.
Yes.
Yeah, when your detect magic finishes, you get a strong, I wouldn't say strong, you do get a magical presence from the amulet, and an even smaller one from all of these skeletons on the floor.
Are they of the same magical type?
They are not. The amulet kind of gives off a sense of evocation magic, and all of these skeletons give off necromancy.
Oh, that's not good.
These old bones may still have life in them yet.
Since Johnny wrapped up with Detect Magic, that means I finished Speak with Animals, yeah?
Yes.
You said earlier that some of the tapestries in the previous room looked like they were moth-eaten.
Yes.
Can I, now that I have Speak with Animals up, can I cast Druidcraft to do the effect that has a harmless sensory effect, and have that sensory effect be the cry of a moth?
So you want to cast Druidcraft to try and find some moths?
Yes.
Ellie, could you just tell us what a moth crying sounds like?
I cannot, because it is above the range of human hearing.
Man.
Can you just try? You try
Yeah.
at least?
I mean, Vivian's not a human.
Her ears are fucking big. Vivian just falls to the ground.
I got this.
Like a dog whistle.
Yeah.
Also putting this here. There we go. All right.
Yeah, if the sound doesn't work, then I'm going to make another harmless sensory effect. That is, what are moths like?
Lamps.
True. The scent of freshly chopped sandalwood.
Are you trying to, like, attract moths to you?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, from... After, like, maybe a minute passes, and then from this doorway over here, you see, glinting in the firelight, the tiniest little speck of creature, as, like, one or two of them start to float and hover around this room.
Excuse me, good sir moths.
One of them stops, like, flying around and looks over. And these moths are actually kind of big, at least by normal moth standards. From across the room, they look small, but when they get closer to you, they're like, about, like, half the size of, like, your average pen.
Damn.
Yeah, they're pretty big. And, they both fly over, and one of them lands on your shoulder, and the other one lands on the top of your head.
Have you seen any big creatures within these ruins? And as Xander speaks, he's going to grab his water skin, and he's gonna just pour a little bit of water into the cap of it. And kind of hold it up for the moths to drink out of.
One of the moths kind of, like, flicks its front legs and starts wiggling its little antennae, and says,
Nothing big. But there are creatures in here. They smell like rot.
Like rot? That sounds quite scary.
Yeah. They're stuck here because they did something bad.
Oh dear.
The
When
demon
you talk to
got
these
them.
Sorry. When you talk to these moths, are you talking in common?
No, I'm talking in primordial.
Oh, okay.
Specifically Terran.
Gotcha.
They did something bad.
They did something bad. Xander finds this curious because, to the best of his knowledge, moths obviously wouldn't really have a sense of morality. So, can I take an insight check on the moth to, like, see if I can deduce what it would consider something bad?
Yeah, go ahead and give me an insight check.
They didn't pay the electric bill. There's no lights in here.
They filed their taxes and marked exempt on everything.
The 16.
It doesn't seem like this is a thing the moth thinks on its own. It doesn't appear charmed because it's just too small, but it seems like that's like it's repeating something that it was told.
Who told you they did something bad?
The demon's friend?
The demon's friend. Interesting. Is the demon here?
No, the demon's long gone. Not dead, just gone.
What about its friend?
Its friend has a part of the demon inside of him. He's locked deep in this place.
I'm going to quietly, as to not disturb the moths, relay this in common to my companion.
Rot, you say?
I'm trying to think if there's anything else I could ask these moths that would be useful.
The demons.
Vivian will ask, when was the last time that you saw creatures come through here? Since the torches were lit before?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
The torches.
And Vivian can just talk to them, by the way. She doesn't need to go through Xander.
The torches get lit whenever friends enter this place.
And who lights them?
The spirit does.
Is this the same spirit that is trapped deep below?
No. The demon's friend makes the spirit do things. As revenge. After the rot left this place, there was nothing else for the spirits to do, but they weren't allowed to be free.
And then the other moth starts to chant, "The rot! The rot! The rot! The rot! The rot!"
These moths have a sense of morality and a cult.
Well, thank you very much for your help. This has been very enlightening. Vivian, do you have anything else to ask these small friends we have made?
I think Vivian's already left.
I guess not. Xander is going to rip off another piece of cloth like the one he did earlier to pick up whatever it was that I picked up, I don't remember. And just give it to the moths.
One of them carries it and then starts to fly away in the direction that it came from, and the other one follows suit.
Thanks again, my friends.
Bye-bye! 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 Bye-bye!
Yep, re-corking my water skin. And yeah, that's all I got.
Great. So we have undead skeletons on the ground that have not woken up yet. We have the door that was ajar that has a light from below with some stairs going downward. We have another door over on the southwest.
Yeah.
And I kind of want that amulet really fucking bad.
Vivian, I bet you a gold piece that the second we take that amulet, those skeletons wake up.
Okay, I'll take that bet, and I throw fire at one of the skeletons.
Yeah. The flames lick at the bones, but nothing seems to happen.
Can I go over and see what happens if I kick one really hard in the head?
Yeah, you kick it, and its head goes and it just rolls across the room.
Great. Sir Al, would you mind pulverizing these?
I have a rule against not desecrating the dead.
They're already desecrated. They're going to stand up and try and kill us. So they're undead.
He's right, Sir Elwood.
Well, I do
These
normally make an
corpses,
exception.
by nature of the magic in them, are desecrated. It would be a service to their bones to free them of this necrotic influence.
You're a sorcerer, are you?
I am a hero.
Right, but like, what's your profession? I need to know that.
I am a hero?
You're a hero that can see the necrotic energy inside of the skeletons?
Indeed.
Then I shall make an exception for the abominations.
And he walks over to a skeletal corpse. He's gonna take one of the like broken pickaxes or whatever, and using the actual like pick side of the, or like the hammer side of the pick, he's just gonna start fucking bashing in skulls.
Yeah, Xander, who's just watching this happen, feels two things. One, he's very glad that he's not on Jay's bad side. And two, he thinks, shit, I owe Vivian a gold piece. So he casts Mage Hand and just floats a gold piece over to her.
Yeah, she doesn't turn her head. She just holds out her hand as it drops in and pockets it.
Once Jay is about halfway done with the skeletons in the room, he's gonna say,
Wait a second, wasn't the bet that they would activate when we took the amulet?
and he's gonna walk over to the amulet.
Did you finish all of them?
He's like halfway done.
Finish all of them.
Amulet's on this side.
But how are we gonna know if the bet is truly won or not if we don't take the amulet before smashing all the skeletons? I mean, they're half gone.
The bet was that once the amulet is taken, the skeletons would get up. If there are no more skeletons, I win. Continue smashing, please.
Oh, you're a pragmatic sort. I like you.
And he's gonna start breaking the rest of the skeletons.
I like how Vivian's like, yeah, but if you go take the amulet, I lose the bet because we didn't fuck it up.
Hey, fucker, I have a plan.
While this is going down, Lysel's gonna like prop the door open for a little bit again, peer back down the stairs, make sure that nobody's coming up at this point.
No, there doesn't seem to be. And by the way, Lysel, when you look down the stairs, because there's still the fog, and the fog very creepily rolls down the steps like a misty, like, waterfall. It's kind of ooky spooky to look at.
Looks like we're still good.
That's actually a useful hint, because that means the fog is not coming from downstairs.
Or it's fucky fog.
It could be fucky fog. That's very fair.
Well, this was the magic fog was a byproduct of necromancy and transmutation, correct?
Yes.
I mean, maybe this room is the source of it. Does it seem like actually, that's a good question. Can we take a look around? And I think Vivian is going to she is going to, what's she going to do? She's going to cast Produce Flame. And she is going to hold it lower to the ground and see if the flame flickers in any direction, like if there's airflow. Because I kind of want to see where this fog is coming from.
Joke's on us, it's flammable.
Well, we would have found out by now.
It actually flickers towards the stairway, but it doesn't flicker naturally. It almost like becomes a miniature vortex when it gets near the fog. But it pulls in the direction down the stairs.
Got it. So air is flowing downstairs?
Yeah, that makes sense. High pressure to low pressure. Fog is traveling down the stairs when we open the door. Yeah.
Got it. So either the fog is coming from this floor, like you said, or it's fucky fog. Cool.
I want to check out this big coffin structure that's in the middle.
This
it's more of a casket.
Yeah, this is actually a table, but you do find that there are scattered, still intact papers and things along it.
Anything I can read?
What are your languages again?
Common, Primordial.
You can read a few of them that are in common. A lot of this is reports of the Platinum Order's doings. I would say a few things. Dropped off medicine in Mapleview, the city that is just starting to make a name for itself. There's killed a few rogue T-Rexes that were wandering too close to cities. One of them says that they sent a small detachment of themselves over to Northreath to take care of a problem of a fake order of paladins that mysteriously disappeared after being killed. They wrote that down as something that needed further investigation. And then there is another report that was written not by Emery, but someone else named Pallus, Pallus, who is also noting the strange, sudden behavior change of his comrades. And then, on this note, though, near the end of it, there are a few drops of blood, and the writing very suddenly stops.
Did it seem like this table ever held food, or was it always just, like, a war table?
It seems like it's like What doesn't look like a war table necessarily. It's not really big enough to like have these in-depth plans, but it does look like people used it as like a spot of respite to like write things down. Because this was like, not only was it kind of a storeroom for weapons, but you can tell it has, statues and stuff. It was another place of just organizational use.
I'm going to cast Druidcraft again, and I'm going to create the scent of dead ants.
The fuck does that smell like?
I can't describe it, but it smells bad.
You know what an ant smells like? Now just imagine
No, I
that,
don't
but dead.
sniff ants.
I can't help you any further.
You don't know what you're missing, man.
So,
Actually, Joey, you know how some people have a gene that lets them makes cilantro taste like soap?
Yeah, and
How
I feel
dare you
bad for
bring
those
up my
poor
fucking
motherfuckers.
weakness? How dare you bring up my fucking weakness in front of all of these people, in front of all of our friends?
Hey,
You hate cilantro because you have a gene that makes it taste like soap. I hate cilantro because it's fucking garbage. We are not the same.
Yeah, here's the thing, Minnow. I didn't mention you
I
at
love
all.
cilantro,
You
by the
just
way.
outed yourself.
I know. I just get so upset.
There is a
I need people to
similar
pity me for
gene.
this.
There is a similar gene, Joey, that allows you to smell when there are ants in the area because of a
That's-
hormone they produce.
That's fucking weird, dude. That means you're part ant. Congratulations, motherfucker. You're an ant.
anyway, the idea here is that when ants pick up on the scent of dead ants, they will gather in that area in an effort to collect the bodies of their fallen friends and take them back to their colony.
Yeah, from under the table in a little crack in the marble, you see some ants come out.
Okay, I am going to I'm gonna catch a couple in a bottle.
They get very angry and start running around in circles.
I'm going to walk over here. I'm going to dispel the Druidcraft effect that's causing the smell. I'm then going to put the bottle on the ground and uncork it with the Mage Hand.
Okay. Question.
Answer.
What is your desired outcome?
For them to run back to their home.
Okay. They once again retreat under the... I didn't mean to grab your character. Again. Under the table.
I'm gonna walk over to the table. Do they seem to, like, go into, like, cracks underneath?
Yeah, like cracks in the tile.
Okay. How big are these cracks?
They're kind of like fine cracks in the tile where ever so often there'll be a chipped piece of tile that makes like a little hole that allows them to get into the dirt underneath.
Okay, so probably not big enough for, like, a bigger creature to pass through, right?
Yeah, not
No,
at all.
like, mice or anything?
No. Maybe another tiny bug.
I'm gonna summon Anodyne, look through her senses. I'm gonna take a look through these cracks. Based on Xander's layman's knowledge of building layouts, does there seem to be, like, another... Because I know there's stairs, right? And they're going down.
Mm-hmm.
But basically what I'm trying to figure out is if there is an area directly underneath us.
If there was, since the area going down this way is carved rather than built, it'll likely have like several feet of just like ground or stone between them.
Got it.
Because everything from this stairwell on is like, it's no longer like, oh, this is a building where we excavated it first and then paved it and then gave it wooden supports and made it all nice and fancy. It's like, no, people started digging and then fucking put a door there and said, boom, more place.
Interesting. Sort of imitating Vivian's produce flame trick. I am going to cast Druidcraft again to just make a very small, like, fire, right? Like, right there. Does there seem to be a current of air coming from these cracks?
There does not.
Okay. There's no ventilation system. At least here. Alright, well, that's all I've got. I was following a theory and it did not work out.
Alright. Are all those skellies dead?
Yeah, by now they have all been powdered. Or
Great.
broken.
Mage hand gonna grab the amulet off the statue.
Yeah, when the amulet comes off of the statue, you see all of the bones start to vibrate, and some of them try to form, but since some of the bones are so powdered or broken into so many pieces that, like, when the full skeleton forms, it, like, takes a step and then immediately shatters again. And all 10 skeletons do this and try to form, but they cannot muster the ability to do so, and they fall back into bones.
So they wake up enough to stand.
They stand for 2 seconds.
Alright. I give you your gold back, and then I give you an extra gold. Fuck.
Yes!
Yeah, they had enough magic in... Well, not all of them stood, but they had enough magic in them to, like, try, but they couldn't, so they crumbled.
Invalid target.
However, Vivian, make me an Arcana check.
I'll help you with that.
Because of the nature of this amulet, with an Arcana check, I can tell you what it is.
That is a 24.
Yeah, with a 24, despite the fact that this statue does not match who this is, you found an amulet of Physis.
That means nothing to me.
Physis is the goddess of nature in Kelmra's 6 most important gods.
Okay.
The amulet, when you attune to if you attune to the amulet, you choose one of the spells between Shocking Grasp, Firebolt, Ray of Frost, Gust, or Poison Spray, and when chosen on attunement, you can cast that spell from the amulet.
Using what stat does he use? Does it have like a set DC, or is
No.
it based on my stuff?
It's based on your stuff, because I cannot be bothered to make people use different stuff just because of an item.
Yeah, can you post that somewhere?
Yeah, I will.
Okay.
Cool. You got a elemental cantrip amulet. That's pretty cool.
It's great. My only cantrip I have that deals damage is ass.
Yeah, druid cantrips are kind of fucking awful.
Yeah.
Also...
Produce Flame would like to know your location.
Produce
Flame is
awful.
rad.
Produce Flame is pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
That's okay.
You guys also from the skeletons find a suspiciously in good condition hood and 4 gold pieces.
A hood. Hold
Just
on.
the hood?
Yeah, just
Wait,
the hood.
what? What does that
Hold
mean?
on. Could I know that I got a giant fucking plume in the way, but could I attach the hood to my cape?
Sure.
I'm taking that fucking hood unless somebody else wants it really bad.
So you have like a beautiful flowing silk crimson cake and a burlap hood?
Hey,
It's
it
made
might
out
not
of-
be
it's
burlap.
made out of- it's made out of leather.
in surprisingly good condition. That shit could be silk for all we know. We don't fucking know.
It's made
It's
out
leather?
of it's made out of very nice leather.
Oh, it's made out of leather? Get that shit out of here. I'm not a fucking rogue. What do I look like?
I mean, myself could probably take it.
All yours, buddy.
Xander looks over at Emiko, and just kind of has a brief mental image of her running around with a hood on, and kind of laughs to himself.
Emiko
Yeah.
looks offended that you just looked at her and laughed.
Well, you're wearing a mask, so I can't tell.
All right. Anything else in this room? I think that we should do this other southwestern door before we go downstairs.
Agreed.
No, but congratulations, y'all just avoided a combat against 10 skeletons.
Technically, Jay just soloed the combat.
This is very glorious.
I am not a cleric, but I know how to turn them to dust. That's for sure.
But yeah, no, it was 10 of them. There was 10 of them.
We've now seen regular smite as opposed to divine smite.
Yes.
So you guys wanted to go
As we all know, smited wounds cannot be stitched up properly.
this way first before you go down?
Is that true? Yeah. Go.
Okay, I was just making sure that that's what you said.
Is this the part where you pull out another board and put it right by this board?
And you connect it like this is an old Warhammer RPG?
Yeah.
No. But
No.
I wouldn't even call it a hallway. It's basically like there's a few feet of walk before you're in another room. That is a large circular room that looks like a giant meeting room. There is a long ellipse-shaped table with multiple chairs that have been moth-eaten. And actually, there's a lot of moths in here. They have been eating away at the chairs and the fabric on the armor. Like, there's a lot of them in here, of the same size ones that you had found. They're all just kind of flying around, having a grand old time, flying near, but not too near to the torches. But in every single chair surrounding this table are a bunch of dead creatures similar to the one that you found in that common room.
I'm gonna take out my quarterstaff and just hit them all upside the head.
Bonk. Bonk.
Just for the satisfying clang.
Yeah, some of them, again, are wearing the faces of someone that has been tormented or even tortured, despite the fact that they're all sitting mostly peacefully in their chairs. There's a few pieces of paper in front of some of them. Some of them don't even all look, based on just dust collection, that they even died at the same time. For some of them, it looks like they were placed in this room after they died. And there are at least 12 of them, all just sitting in a circle around this table. One of them in particular looks like when it was died, it was beheaded, and not even beheaded all the way, as there was just enough of their neck left for their head to sit at a 90-degree angle resting on their shoulder, and that is the one sitting at the head of the table.
Xander kind of gets a curious expression and looks to Sir Elwood and says, I don't know much about the subject. Is this an inordinary amount of knights to have in a single detachment?
How many were there? You said there were 12?
12.
12?
Well, there were 12 in here, and then there was one in the other room for 13, and there was one at the entrance for 14.
A baker's dozen plus one of knights is quite a lot to have in a detachment, yes. I've never been a part of one myself that was more than 6 men strong. But that's also assuming that they're not part of a war band, in which case any amount of knights would be enough.
Is it possible that this is the entire order, since none of us have heard of the Platinum Order before?
If the Platinum Order is a secretive type of knighting order, then I suppose it's not out of the ordinary for them to have a low amount of people. Less people means less people to get rid of that secret, you know?
Although no, because they had orders, didn't they? So probably not.
Make me an insight check, Vivian.
Can I help with that?
Can they help with that?
Boss?
Wait, what was the question? I thought you were asking the group if you could get any help with it.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Can Lysel help with that?
Oh, okay,
I
my
offered
bad.
it.
I missed that part. Yeah. Since this is more of a deduction-based roll, not a trying to suss someone out roll, I'd allow it.
Good help on that one. 19.
When that thought strikes you, Vivian, you get the sense that those orders were not, that you read at the front entrance were not for the Platinum Order, but for the Disruptor Knights.
Oh, got it. I thought that they were originally for the platinum and then had been taken over. Got it.
That does make quite a bit of sense. Xander looks over to Johnny and says, "Anything magical in here?"
Magic would still be up.
There is I wouldn't say dormant, but residual magic resting within all of the Disruptor Knights. Not in a way of it being anything that could be awakened, but more that they were so magical in life that even in death there are still some traces on them. It is a mix of many things: transmutation, evocation, necromancy, all sorts of shit radiating off of their bodies even if they are completely deceased. It almost makes your head hurt. There's so much of it.
Harmless relics of a bygone era.
Does the fog seem to be coming from this room?
You know, Xander, as you look at the ground, the fog is a bit more raised in here. And when you take a closer look, because I won't make you roll for this because you're standing so close to it, the fog is radiating from the bodies of the dead Disruptor Knights.
I don't like that.
What type of magic did you say the fog itself was?
Necromancy and transmutation.
Interesting.
Do you want to make an Arcana check?
Yeah, I would. Somebody helping me out with this?
Wish I could, bud.
Guidance.
Guidance.
Oh, that's quite good. Oh, that's even better. 24.
Yeah, that's really good. So, you can tell that the fog radiating off of them is not something that they conjured. It's more of something that they were subjected to. And it was so potent that for the last 100 years, it's just been leaking out of their dead bodies and manifesting as a harmless fog along the floors of this place.
Would destroying the bodies get rid of the fog?
You could reasonably assume that that would make it easier, but also taking a look at everything and how it formed and seeing it at its source, you also, obviously other than the obvious dispel magic that I don't think any of you have access to, a simple light spell would also get rid of it if you did it in this room.
I don't actually have a light spell.
Neither do I.
With an hour, I could
got fucking
use
guiding
cantrip
bolt.
formulas to get one.
Do
It would take an hour for me to get the cantrip.
Do we think that that is a good idea? Do we think that we could also bury these bodies? Would that help? If we gave them like an actual burial, because right now they are desecrated?
That's true.
Something tells you that there is no amount of nothing that can get rid of the desecration in these bodies, and I don't need to make you roll for it.
Well, how far are we from the entrance?
From the entrance of the dungeon itself?
Yeah.
Like about 250 feet?
Xander sighs heavily and says, "Do we just want to take these things outside?"
Well, no.
Well,
Sorry,
Hold
go
on,
ahead.
DM,
Me?
you said a light spell would suffice. Does that mean like a magical light would suffice as well? Or why would a light spell work?
Basically basically any form of bright magical light can dispel it. It's like it counterreacts to it.
Alright, yeah. So Johnny seems to think for a moment, and then he's going to vomit up a hammer. And it seems like a pretty ordinary roofing hammer. And he is going to tap a pebble and the object will shed bright light in a 5-foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet, which is a magical property.
Oh yeah,
Ooh.
or your artificer stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And when you do this, to the area that the dim light reaches, the fog completely disappears. And it doesn't seem to re-penetrate that spot.
If we pull the pebble back, does it seep back in?
It does not.
Oh, so it's just gone.
It is just gone.
It's just a magic eraser.
Great. So we can sort of run around and take care of that. In addition to that, do we get the impression that if burying these bodies isn't going to stop the desecration, I feel like burying them, all it's going to do is like poison the earth outside. Do we think that anything bad would happen if we burned these bodies? Like, would it release all that magic energy?
Make me an Arcana check, Vivian.
Sure.
Help guidance.
Great. Okay, that is a 21.
You don't think burning them would do anything, but, you do know that because of just the sheer demonic, and I'm gonna say demonic for your reference, energy that comes off them, that putting them in a natural place would desecrate the entire area.
So burning them would get rid of it. Burying them would ruin the area.
Correct.
Do we get the inclination that the area that we're in is already desecrated?
Oh, absolutely.
Didn't we already learn that?
Yeah, we already knew that.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Yeah. Anything within a 30-foot, no, I'll say 50-foot radius of a singular disruptor knight is considered desecrated.
Okay. So my recommendation, we loot the ever-loving hell out of this room, pile up the bodies, and find a way to burn them in here.
Would you be amenable to maybe taking them in the room we just left before burning them?
Sure. Any reason for that? The reason that I was thinking in here is that it's a closed-off space and the smoke is less likely to be a problem.
That's true. I'm just worried about, well, Xander looks up to the colony of moths that's flittering about the room.
Aww.
Oh,
Well,
maybe
your Speak
they
with
like
Animals.
fire. Well,
Your Speak with Animals is still up. You can just ask them if they can leave.
Yeah, but if they made their home in here, all that desecrated smoke is probably going to ruin it.
good point. Would it be a problem if we burned them outside?
If you burned them outside, no. You would just have to carry 12 or 13 if you want to pick up the other one. Big ass bodies in anywhere between half plate and full plate, destroyed, fucked up armor outside.
Okay. So do we want to take an hour here? I don't know. Johnny, do you still need the light spell, or how long does your thing last?
It doesn't seem like we need the light anymore. However, Johnny looks forward knowing the creature that is supposedly somewhere in this complex. Nay, there is evil to be digested. Burning the corpses can wait.
I mean,
Burning
Vivian
the
would-
corpse- burning the corpses will get rid of the weird ass fog. Hopefully.
so is light.
Fog is gone, right? It's been dispelled.
You would basically have to take the light where it reaches since it's magical fog, but since you can make magical light everywhere you go, you can dispel it in that area. But burning the bodies would get rid of it all at once, like it would slowly start to dissipate, but the light gets rid of it in any area that magical light reaches. Sorry if I wasn't clear about that.
It'll also give me a chance to attune to this amulet.
Sure.
Yeah, Giants had a sudden change of heart.
Okay.
I get my channel divinity back, so
Yeah, can we do this and call it a short rest?
Sure. And during that short rest, I'm going to also make 20 more good berries.
shit.
In addition to that, can we also take some time and figure out what the hood, the pen, and the amulet does, the holy symbol does?
Okay, another. I'm also.
Can I get a couple of those good
Attuned to
berries?
the pen, if required.
Yeah.
I just need a couple. Just
How
a
many do you need?
literal couple.
Oh, like 2?
Yeah.
Got it. I'm down to 38. Anybody else
Vivian.
have any HP missing?
Vivian also has 49, so like we're stacked on berries. So don't ever feel like you're asking for too much.
Yeah, because Vivian has more spell slots to make good berries, and every time I take a short rest, I can cast good berry using my warlock slots. So we basically have a functionally infinite supply of good berries.
Well, let's not find out how infinite it is.
Yeah, like the functionally infinite. The stipulation is like if we're low on time, then we don't.
100%. Great. So yeah, we'll get these bodies out of here. I'll attune to the amulet, and we will figure out what these other items do in this 1 hour.
I'm just writing down some loot real quick.
But yeah, also tearing this room apart. Also, quick question. While we are taking bodies out, if there is a moment where everyone else is outside, can we leave one of the familiars in the room to see if the torches go out?
Yeah, I'll have Anodyne stay behind.
Yeah, when everybody leaves the dungeon, all of the torches go out simultaneously.
And then Viv will step back in,
And all of
just
them
like into the entrance.
You feel this like rush of cool air, and all of the lights light again. But they're lit like someone walked by and manually put a fire on the torches and walked away.
Anodyne is going to take a look at one of the torches after it's being relit. Does it seem like the torch regenerated in the time that everybody was outside?
A little bit, but not. You guys said that you were going to figure out what the items do.
Yeah.
Correct.
I feel like we should also, when we go back in, we should, because we both have Druidcraft, right? We should put a couple of these torches out and see if they get relit.
Sure.
Oh, yeah,
Also,
make the spirit
that's-
angry.
That's interesting, because Xander grabbed one of the torches when we were in that first chamber. So when we left, did it automatically go out?
It did.
Interesting. I'm gonna try relighting it after it goes out.
It does light. And if you go back into the room after you relight it, it goes out for a split second and then relights itself.
This is great.
Give me... Okay, now I just gotta put all of these items in... There we go. Okay.
Oh, fuck it.
Yeah, the hood is probably
Alright, so
best
just to
for
say...
myself.
Just to say out loud, the Hood of Alertness, attuning to this hood, adds +1 to initiative rolls. Additionally, if your result is still under 5, you may add +2 to your roll.
So, like, if I roll, I guess that really won't. The secondary effect won't really do anything for me because I already have a +4.
Yeah, basically...
Natural one.
Yeah, if you roll a natural
Yeah.
1, but...
Well, then it's still going to be 5.
Yeah.
So you have +4.
Yeah. So if you want to give it to someone else purely because the secondary effect isn't effective, that's up to you. But basically, it adds a +1 to your initiative rolls. However, if even with a +1, if you still get under a 5, you add +2.
I mean, let's be honest. If anyone has ever needed more help with their initiative rolls, this is going to a really good candidate, I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the
Like,
scribe
I
pen-
understand that you have a +4. That just means that you're going to roll a lot of 5s.
And then the scribe pen, you can use this pen to write on any surface. You can decide whether the writing is visible or invisible. Any creature attuned to the pen can use an action to touch the invisible writing, making it visible to all. If you use the pen to write on a creature that isn't a construct, the writing fades after 7 days.
That's really good.
It's such a cool pen, dude.
And then there is a cursed holy symbol of Priscilla.
Oh.
If attuned to it, you cannot unattune to it unless by magical means via remove curse. When attuned to this holy symbol, you can cast the spells below each once per day, but casting the spells using this item, but casting the spells costs 5 HP if you use this item to cast them. Hex, Fog Cloud, Shadow Blade, and Pass Without Trace.
I mean,
Shadow Blade is a very good spell.
we just established we got berries for days.
Yeah.
And if
Well,
anyone...
how do we learn its effects? We have to learn it by attuning to it, right? So
Yeah, if
whoever
it's a
attunes
cursed
to
item,
it,
we would have to.
Oh, darn. Oh, well.
because we don't have identifying.
I spoiled it for
So
you then.
who
My
gets the
bad.
curse? And somebody has to get it if we know its effect.
Fucking
Who would be
Xander.
looking at it?
Xander
There
probably
we go.
would have been looking at it.
Yeah. And Xander, on one of your hands, you grow, silver scales. And on that hand, you also get silver, slightly pointed claws.
Welcome back, Charybdis.
That didn't last long.
Xander looks down and says, "Oh, it looks so tacky."
What do you mean? It looks great with the green.
You think so?
If it's actually made of silver, it'll be. Oh shit! Sorry. If it's actually made of silver, it'll be good at killing undead bitches.
That's true. You can pimp slap banshees now.
Xander kind of looks at the claws and the scales again and says, looks back to Emiko and says, "Well, if you don't think it looks too terrible, then I will trust your judgment."
He gives you a thumbs up.
He gives you a thumbs up back with one of the clawsies.
Yeah, and then seemingly Xander tuning to this item lets you know who it represents. Priscilla is one of the demon lords of the Hells that is basically the son of the dragon god Malum. Priscilla is one of his 7 sons of treachery, and more specifically, Priscilla deems himself the Lord of Disaster.
Xander, audibly scoffs and says, "Fucking dragons."
I want to recommend it.
Fair.
Yeah, and Xander, also when you tune to the cursed item, there is a part of you feel this buzzing in the back of your brain, like someone is really, really angry at you.
Awesome.
You're grounded.
You just, you feel like you tingling in the back of your neck, that feeling you get when you were a teenager and your mom was about to come in and yelling at you, telling you why you didn't do your violin practice. Yeah, you get that tingle in the back of your neck.
This is gonna be my whole life, isn't it?
It goes away after a second, but, you feel it.
I think Anodyne comes running back to the group from the ruins. Just looks up at Xander and yips.
Great. So, I think that's everything. We got the bodies burned.
Yep. Now, burning
Alright.
them outside was kind of scary because for a split second the fire turned white, but otherwise you did it. It's fine.
That's probably fine.
And then we go back inside.
In the room where there were the two mimics, there was another door. Can we check that one out as well?
Yeah, I'll say that you guys, just for the sake of brevity, that you guys did this while trying to transport the bodies. You find out that that second door was an alternative way to get into the room with the meeting table.
Okay.
Just because I don't want to waste y'all's time.
And was there any other loot in that room? Was the meeting table?
I put it all in there. It was just, you get a total of 3 silver pieces, another set of the Disruptor Knight half plate. It is equally as destroyed as the first set, but the rest of the armor is so damaged from either however they died or age or whatever that it's not obtainable.
Are there enough pieces of half plate that we could make one full plate?
You would
And a set of half plate.
You would have to find someone again that can repair it, but yeah, you could probably get one full plate.
So one full plate, one half plate?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
Adding it to
so
the...
just need to get Smith's tools.
And then you also, if you guys were interested about finding out what happened here, there's a bunch of things on that meeting table that can sum up a decent, if not full, recollection of what happened here.
Great, what's it say?
So, a sum up of all the things. Get me out of here. This combat's done. So, basically you find out that essentially the Platinum Order was one by one picked off by these Disruptor Knights and replaced, until the only person left was a knight named Emery, which you found his journal, and you also found a few more things that reference him as basically the last one to be replaced. Inevitably, he was, and you found his body in the front room. There were 13 knights total, which is why he seems separate. It's because they didn't get rid of his body when they killed him to replace him. Because there was something going through, there was a quote-unquote sickness that overtook this, they called it their temple, despite the fact that this wasn't a religious order. And basically they called it the Rot. And no magic that cured diseases could get rid of it. No magic that cured curses could get rid of it. Try as they might, they could not get rid of it, and they could not figure out why, and it was slowly starting to kill them. The symptoms of this disease curse manifested as a slow, steady rotting and corruption, seemingly from the inside out. Gathered in this room, almost like someone placed it here in memorial to Emery, you find his last note that kind of explains what the rot was. And it says, "I'm writing this down purely so that someone someday can find it. I don't know what will happen to me after my demise, or if it will be kept in a place where anyone can find it in the first place, but here goes. The Rot, as the Disruptor Knights like to call it, was a possession by an ancient demon known as Usta Murloc. The demon was so powerful it could consume multiple targets at once, and did so after the Disruptor Knights took their place here. I have made a promise to Usta Murloc that if it could take all of the souls of the Disruptor Knights, and as well as my firstborn son to be its future avatar, that Usta Murloc would torment all of these creatures for killing my friends and my found family for eternity. With this promise... Oh, sorry, I accidentally closed it. With this promise, I know that it is a horrible and damning thing to do to my own family, and maybe in whatever afterlife I go to, I will come to regret it. But these creatures, these fiends, these servants of a Dark Lord must pay for what they have done to the Order, to the Platinum Order. Someone must pay, and I won't be alive to see the consequences in the first place. I'm writing this knowing that I am the last one to be replaced and that inevitably they will kill me, as I cannot leave this temple due to something that they have done. In the end, they will all suffer, and in the end, I'll have my revenge. I don't need to be alive to see it. And all of that through multiple journals, multiple pieces of paper that you all looked at during your short rest, is all gathered on the table, almost presented like someone after these events occurred placed them here.
Almost makes you wonder if it's his own spirit that's doing all these things.
Well, we do know the spirit is being by a very, very intelligent moth. We know the spirit is being kept here as a punishment and being forced to serve the friend of the demon.
An intriguing hypothesis. What leads you to believe that, Lysel?
I mean, who else's spirit could it be? Certainly not one of the replaced people's, and he's the only one that did something as so horrible as to warrant a need for redemption.
Perhaps.
Either way, we have a direction and a way forward now. I say let's head to the stairs.
Indeed.
Obviously there was so much of it that it won't dissipate immediately unless exposed to the magical light, but you can tell it is starting to thin out. And you can actually properly see the floor that you are walking on. And as you make your way down towards the light that Lysel saw, when you make it to the bottom of the stairs, you actually notice that there is two directions you could go. The walkway expands further and you can see a turn up ahead, or the light is coming from another room that is equally as strange and carved out as the stairwell. It seems like all of this down here is just going to be carved out. I would call it cave, but it's slightly more planned out than a cave. But it is carved and never got to a point where they smoothed it out or decorated it. Also, real quick, I very suddenly and very violently have to go to the bathroom. So, y'all roleplay amongst yourselves as you're looking around. I'm so sorry. It's very sudden. I'll be right back.
The shitting demon strikes again.
What?
The shitting demon strikes again. Did you hear it that time?
Yeah. I'm actually very glad that you repeated yourself because that was funny enough to hear twice.
So you heard it the first
Appreciate
time.
Sometimes I hear it and then I just go, what? Because I haven't registered it yet. Like a shitty operating system.
Surely he didn't just say the shitting demon. Clearly I didn't hear that right.
Yeah. I mean, it's Groove, so that's a possibility as well, that subconsciously I don't believe half the shit that comes out of his mouth.
Well, you should believe the shit that comes out of his ass, though.
Man, the demon put it there, though.
This fortune
Shouldn't
cookie is
lie.
terrible. This gave me just the worst fortune. A wink and a smile will brighten someone's day. Nobody wants to see me wink and smile at them if they're a stranger. No, I don't think I will, Panda Express.
Why are you eating Panda Express? That stuff's awful.
Because it's cheap as shit, and I can't go downstairs and make food during podcast.
Man.
Usually I make food prior to the podcast starting, and it keeps me full until it's over. But I guess I didn't put enough fucking peanut butter on that sandwich or something, because I was really hungry.
Man, what the fuck do y'all think we're gonna find down there?
A dragon.
Like
Sounds
dogs.
like a demon.
Yeah, it does
we're
kind
in
of
a-
seem like it's gonna be a demon.
If we're
But,
in a dungeon and we don't fight a dragon, or at least see one, then, like, we're not playing the game, you know?
Is that a rule for you? Every dungeon must have a dragon?
No, but it's a
It is
dungeon and
Dungeon
Dungeons
and
and
Dragons.
Dragons.
Okay, but I mean, like, there's a disproportionate amount of dungeons to dragons.
True.
Not in
Maybe you
Trustworld.
should like change that instead of just complaining about it.
Just add more dragons.
Just saying.
You know, that's a good point. Next campaign, I'll play a Dragonborn. That way, every dungeon we go to also, by exception, has a dragon in it.
But
See,
then
now
you
we're
see-
thinking with
uh,
portals.
No, but then you see the problem. Then we only have dragons half the time. Anytime we're not in a dungeon, we're not playing the game.
So we just play Dungeon of the Mad Mage. Problem solved.
I mean, if you're playing D&D, you should be in a dungeon most of the time. Not even a joke,
And you should have double Ds.
bro.
Bro.
Double D's nuts in your mouth.
Hey,
Double D's nuts in your mouth. No.
Oh my god.
My first ex had double D's. Oh, she's not. Now that we're not together anymore, I guess I no longer have double D's, huh?
damn.
Now you just got DWs.
All I can think of is Arthur, I'm sorry.
Yeah, same.
Or Deutsche Welle, but that's like a. That's.
Jess is like roleplay amongst yourselves, and I'm like, Xander's
No,
fucking
this is hangout
scared.
time.
My brother in Christ. I'm terrified.
Vivian's like, man, this is a really long stairwell down. It's still going. It's been like 10 minutes.
Roleplay where our short rest is over.
We're going down this staircase, and there's just the fucking music that plays when you try to go up the stairs in Mario 64 to the final level.
What year?
Yeah, but it's in the minor key because it's creepy in here.
So it's like do 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 do.
Sure.
It's really hard to be flat on purpose.
Agreed.
So as soon as we get out of this dungeon, two things we need to find. Number one, Smith's tools. Number two, a pearl worth 100 GP.
What do we need?
And number 3, a dragon.
Apparently.
We need a pearl, so Johnny can have the material component to cast Identify.
Without getting another scaly hand over there.
Oh, that's right. We never identified the glowing amulet. That's right.
I mean, technically, Identify doesn't identify curses.
Tells you all magical properties.
Yeah, but like, so it's a really stupid thing about 5e. There's a rule somewhere, I think it's in the PHB or the GM's guide, that's like, yeah, Identify doesn't always discover curses.
Damn, I wasn't the first one to complain about 5e this session. That's fucking crazy.
It's just like, okay, then what does Identify do? What does it do? Because it's the only use for the spell. Because any magic item, if you spend an hour with it, you can determine what it does. So what the fuck does Identify do?
lets you do all that without taking an hour to do it.
No, just 11 minutes, and like in the game, if you have 11 minutes, you have an hour.
I don't think I've ever.
Actually, the Goblin raiding party will be here in 15 minutes. You better identify it quick.
Okay,
Yeah,
then
all of
I'm not going to take that time to identify an item. Then I'm going to set up for the fight.
I don't think I've ever
What that
played a
is-
D&D game where Identify did not reveal a curse. I feel like if I ran with that ruling, people would be like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, no, because like I discovered that in a campaign that I was DMing for. Somebody had told me that, and I was like, "Well, that's stupid," and I'm ignoring that.
I'm gonna be
sure
honest.
that.
Identify is one of those spells that in 5e I never actually fucking read it aside from the cast time, because in every edition of the D&D it does the exact same thing. It gives you a bonus to identify a magic item. In this game, it doesn't give you a bonus, it just tells you what it does. I thought that was fucking weird. I was like, okay, so I guess it just tells you what it does. And I never read the last sentence because I was like, that shit's whack. Who cares about reading? I don't read things.
I have other people to read for me.
Yeah, I have a bunch of players that all have the book that they can also just read. So
Ow.
Yeah.
it is crazy. You know what? That's a big fucking nerf. I just realized they nerfed the shit out of that spell. Because in older versions of the game, it gave you a +10 to figure out what the item did or something similar. It like gave you a bonus. And in 3.5, it would let you use the skill to check what it does without being trained in the skill. You used to need training to figure that shit out. And then if you had the identify spell, you could just say, nah, bruh. Man, fuck identify.
I'm still really fucking salty that those skeletons stood up. I demand a fucking recount.
Recount this, you feel.
My specific words to him were pulverize them.
Yes, blame the Elwood.
I will.
Yo, I smashed the fuck out of them. I don't know what the hell happened, you know?
Not enough.
You have to take a mortal and pestle and like literally grind them all up.
Make bone meal out of them. Consume
I'm just
them.
saying, a little hustle never hurt anyone, okay? Next time I'm going to ask Amiko or Emiko because she clearly has the right idea.
I even grabbed an item that is specifically made for smashing things. I picked up a fucking pickaxe because I was like, a sword doesn't smash things, but a pickaxe, that's real good at smashing things. I picked up a fucking pickaxe too. I did my due diligence.
Game was rigged from the start.
You picked the wrong axe, my friend.
Fuck you. You don't know. I mean, we do now, but we didn't at the time.
I can't wait to cut out this whole part of the episode and like upload it as its own fucking thing.
A video
that's cool.
of just like
Of
when
us just bullshitting while Chas
Yeah.
is taking a shit. Yeah.
We can call it
goes to the bathroom.
We can call it shit talking.
Yeah, I put the actual excerpt from the DMG, by the way, not of
Yeah, I
Game's
just read that. That's the dumbest fucking thing I've ever read in my entire life.
It's wild. So what is, because Identify still does stuff. Where is it? I think it can also tell you about like creatures and what magical effects are happening to them.
Yeah. Let me just.
Hmm.
Yeah, so I looked it up and basically because Crawford has talked about this as he has everything. Basically, because the curse is not a property of the magic of the item, but a separate magical effect that was tacked onto the item, basically, that's why Identify does not identify it.
Yeah.
Well, you know
I
what?
get
He's
it.
a fucking crawdad, so we don't care.
I get it. Like, because it did remove the check to determine what a magic property is, having something that just like immediately says, yes, this is a cursed thing. Like, if you're
possibility of people getting cursed.
Yeah, past like level 3.
At the same time, though, I feel like curses in 5e with a lot of magic items, maybe not a lot of magic items, but if there's a decent bit of them, it's so absolutely punishing to just have an attunement slot taken up, even if the curse isn't really all that bad.
Yeah.
It's so, like, having a curse on an item is so bad that having the curse itself, like, I don't know. All I'm saying is that if they get cursed, it should be their own fault, not the fault of the spell that's meant to do exactly what they're trying to avoid happening.
Or at least make it like a fucking second level spell or something that's like detect curse or something.
Oh yeah, because there is no way to like detect curses, is there?
There's not. There is no way to detect a curse.
Yeah, that's so stupid. A curse should be the fault of the player being dumb, not the DM wanting to fuck up the player.
Like a lot of curse items says, oh, you have to roll this on an Arcana check to determine it's cursed. But
that's not like a default thing.
Most players aren't going to be like, oh, can I check this item to see if it's cursed? Can I make an Arcana check? Because like most people are just like, yeah, that's what Identifies for. You know?
Well, my players absolutely would, but my players are paranoid about fucking everything.
Yeah. I mean, I'm just saying, in Identify, nowhere does it say that this spell fails to recognize a curse. So, like, I'm just saying, if I'm a new player and I take Identify, I'm like, oh, sweet. This is going to help me avoid shit like that. And the DM's like, actually, in this rule that you have no access to, it says that Identify doesn't reveal curses.
I think there is a dumber ruling. I think the dumbest ruling in the entire game, just in general. No. Concentration is a bad mechanic. It's not a bad rule. It's a well-written rule. I just hate it. Invisibility, see invisibility to be specific, does not stop you from taking disadvantage on attack rolls to hit invisible creatures. Because even though you can see them, they are still under the effects of the invisibility spell.
Yep, that's true.
That's the dumbest fucking thing ever. That is dumber than not being able to see curses. I am actively curses? Accident. I understand. Oh no, the cursed item was cursed on accident. No, that motherfucker is invisible on purpose, and I purposefully casted a spell to see through that shit, and you're telling me it does nothing?
You know what's
dumb. Fucking dumb.
Sillier? You know what's even sillier, Joey? Being invisible does not help your stealth at all. It gives you no bonuses to hide checks. It doesn't give you any immunity to being spotted. You still have to roll a stealth check just like you normally would.
I've always given the stealth check with advantage and said that if a character is trying to see, they just can't roll, but if they're trying to listen, then they can.
Right, but that's not raw.
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like that's a pretty common house rule, though.
All invisibility does is let you hide without concealment.
Yeah, it also lets you. It also lets you hit things with advantage.
Yeah,
because I think. Isn't that like part of the status? Like, it's not in the invisibility spell, but it's part of the status effect invisibility.
That's part of the condition of being invisible. Is that when you make attacks, you have advantage.
And if people try to attack you, they have disadvantage.
Yeah, it's really weird because see invisibility. So it's strange, right? Because see invisibility, if you're just taking the spell at face value, see invisibility, it cancels out their advantage against you because you can see them, but you still have disadvantage against them.
Yeah.
Which is really fucking stupid.
See invisibility is another spell that got ridiculously nerfed hardcore too. Because I think if you have see invisibility, you still need to roll to see the creature, right?
Yeah, if they're hidden, you still need to roll to see them. Well, technically. So, like, if they have any other form of obscurement, you would still have to roll. But if their only form of obscurement is the invisibility, then no, you wouldn't have to, because then they wouldn't have cover from you.
Oh, point for Minnow then, because that's a thing that's fucked up in Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Oh, is anything against Baldur's Gate a point in my favor?
Yes, because you fucking hate it for some reason.
I don't hate it for some reason. I hate it for incredibly nitpicky reasons.
Oh.
Also, literally every enemy, like NPC in Baldur's Gate has a active ability that is just, it detects invisible things within a 10-foot radius from them.
Yeah.
Player characters don't have that, so invisibility for a player character is like
Inherently
kind of
worse.
useless.
Yeah.
But like all of the enemies, like you can do nothing about it except throw an AOE in that general area and hope that you're right about their general
Actually, well, okay, yeah, that is true. Never mind. What you were gonna say is correct. I was gonna actually nothing. What my actually was gonna be agreeing with you, just in a different way of speaking. Because I was gonna be like, well, you could like throw a single target spell in like where you know they are, and then it'll hit them either way. But that's the same fucking thing you just said.
Yeah.
Only you said AOE.
I'm back,
It's
by the
just
way.
less effective, like,
Welcome
because
back.
instead of doing that, you can just throw a fucking alchemist flask.
Sorry that took so long, by the way. I've been sitting in my chair for like 3 minutes, but my headset turned off.
So you had to recharge it or something, or?
Yeah, I don't know if this one's different than my other one, because it said they were the exact same one, but this one does not like being used while charging. It'll just turn off anyway. But then, it says that it's charging. Like, if I look at it right now, it says that my headset's charging. Oh, can I? Oh, that's so helpful.
Anyway, so we're going down the stairs.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. I really violently had to pee. So, once again, when you get to the bottom of the stairs, you see that the path either keeps going or immediately to your right, there is that lit room that Lyself saw from the top of the stairs, but you do see that the passageway keeps going.
Let's check out the door on the right.
Yeah, lit room first.
Investigating the door for traps. You said that is there a door? Actually, you said there's light coming from it. Is it like under a door or just out there?
No, there's no door in this one. It's just a carved
Got it.
out opening.
No door?
No door.
Terrifying.
Yeah, you actually, when you get into the room, it is a much larger room that almost looks like a carved out, like, chapel. The room is 30 feet wide and then 60 feet long. And there's, like, there's, like, literal pews set up. This is basically like a miniature temple.
Temple to who?
You're about to find out. Cause at the very end, that sounded way more threatening than I meaned it to, but oh well.
Very
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, at the very, very end of all these pews, there is a giant statue of a very, albeit very pretty, but very imposing man. The statue is like 13 feet tall, and he has draconic wings behind his back and a very long tail that kind of like wraps around him a few times. Not really like close to his body, but like artistically the tail wraps around as if just to add a little artistic flourish to the statue. And he has very long hair that falls into a kind of loose braid that goes all the way to his waist. And he has like long claws. There's no color in the statue. It's made out of polished granite. But it doesn't look like any stone that you all have seen really at all. And there's like I'll get to that in a second, Xander. And then there's also cracks in the stone that look glazed over that have a sort of pulsing blue glow to them. And Xander, when you look at this, since you rolled an 18 on a religion check, if you had asked me to roll that, I would have given you advantage, but an 18 is pretty good. This is the humanoid form of the demon lord Priscilla.
Oh,
Okay, so wait, hold on. So does this statue appear like newer than everything else that we've seen in this temple then?
Yes, actually.
Um,
Now, newer is a relative term. Everything in here still looks old, but it's newer than everything else.
Xander like scratches the back of his head and just kind of says out loud, I didn't think infernals were the religious sort. What use would they have for building something like this?
Since you made an 18 religion check, you know what? I'll tell you. You kind of think about it a little more, and especially with your new, little curse. The thing about, the regular demon princes or the seven sons is that people that work for them directly do worship them like they are deities, despite the fact that they are not gods by any, at most they're demigods or just really, really powerful immortal beings. But those who work for them, or maybe are forced to work for them, view them like they are gods.
Xander gets an idea. And he thinks to himself that it's probably not a good idea, but he's going to do it anyway. He's going to go kneel before the statue, and I am going to pay the 5 hit point cost into the holy symbol, as if I was going to cast one of the spells, but instead, I'm going to see if I can get, like, an omen or something from Priscilla.
Yeah, Xander, make me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, shit.
That's a natural 1.
Yeah, so all of you watch as Xander is blasted back 15 feet from the statue. Like a wave of destructive force just ripples out from it and sends Xander flying down the walkway towards the pews. And, give me 1 second. Xander, you take 4 force damage as you are blasted back. And all of you watch as Xander starts writhing on the floor as if he were in agony. And Xander, you start to see visions flashing in your head. You see a forested landscape that is actually rather beautiful, and there's this large lake with a few islands in it as it's big enough to do so, and a city not too far away from it, and you can tell that this place is definitely underground, but it behaves like it's its own ecosystem. I wouldn't say you recognize this, but you can only guess that this is one of the rings of the Hells. And you see that there are multiple disruptor knights that are kind of looking around the city and trying to attack it. But you see this demon with dark hair and this very long flowing cape that has like constellations on it, and he's holding a grimoire that's, kind of similar to yours in a way. Not exactly, not in like terms of, oh, it's made by the same person, but a similar style, a magical glowing grimoire. And with a wave of his hand, these bird-like demons all race out of the book made out of constellations and start to tear the disruptor knights to shreds. But then these wyvern-like drakes start to fly from behind the disruptor knights and start fighting these demons, colliding in the air. And all of this seems to zoom out and blend, and you see a pair of eyes staring at you. And you hear a voice that says, "You're lucky I was here, good friend, or you would have seen something particularly nasty. I'll see you soon. You don't want Priscilla to know about your whereabouts, do you? Get up now. We'll run into each other at some point, I'm sure of it."
Dude, this guy's cheating on his mom.
And, with a...
Oh, say.
And Xander, for a split second, you feel like someone smacks you on the head really, really hard. And you feel like somehow these visions were interrupted by I wouldn't say a powerful being, nothing like Priscilla. You know this voice was not Priscilla himself, or else the the holy symbol would have reacted much differently. But after this person speaks, you feel this sensation like someone has hit you in the face, and you wake up. Your bones ache, and you feel this cold, tingling sensation under your skin for a few moments, but you come to, laying on the floor, 15 feet away from the altar, surrounded by your probably concerned friends.
What was that? Are you an idiot?
No. I mean, if you ask my mother, she would probably say yes. Slowly stands, starts munching on some good berries. I'm gonna restore myself back to full. Tries to think of how he's going to explain this to the party, and ultimately decides he doesn't know how he's going to do that, so he just shrugs and says, "So, where to next?"
Elwood,
Yep.
is there might in your pickaxe yet?
I put it back down when we were over in the other room after I got done smashing those skeletons to smithereens. Why?
There is a monument to evil that must be digested from this world.
Right you are, friend. Let me go get that pickaxe.
Blank, 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 blank.
Yeah, he's gonna go back up and grab the pickaxe. I don't know how big the staircase is, but I'm assuming it's not as big as the amount of time it took you to go to the bathroom. So he should be back in less than a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, he's gonna take the broken, rotted, like, wood, waterlogged fucking pickaxe, and he's just gonna start beating the shit out of the shrine.
This is a bad idea.
If the handle breaks, he's gonna just, like, keep hammering away at it, using one of the ends of the pickaxe as a makeshift ice pick.
Jay, make me a charisma saving throw.
I'm really good at those. You've picked the wrong saving throw. No, I picked the wrong saving throw. That's a 9.
Okay.
Jay, when you try to...
Hold on, do I have guidance? Please, somebody give me guidance.
Yeah, guys,
Does not
throw.
saves.
Oh, thank God. That's
No,
12
you do not
instead.
have guidance. You do not have guidance.
I do not have guidance? Why
You
the
can.
fuck
The
not?
3 of us spoke at the same time, but we
not
all
a
said the same thing.
No!
Yeah, so,
Why the fuck doesn't it work on saving throws and works on everything else?
Because there's a separate spell for that called Resistance.
I fucking hate 5e!
Also, guidance doesn't work on attack rolls, so it doesn't work on everything else, just
I
abilities.
thought it did.
No. You're thinking of blast.
An attack roll isn't an ability check?
No.
No.
It's an attack roll.
But initiative is.
Yeah.
I know initiative is an ability check. I thought anything that used an ability score that was not a save was an ability check.
Nope. No.
Wow, fuck the fucking dictionary then, I guess. Thanks, 5e.
How is this fun? Never mind.
No, that is absolutely a 5e thing in
No,
every
this
other
is
system.
this is you being unable to read. You got a 9. That's what happens.
Check and save have always been two distinct things.
a similar thing happens. You see this ripple of energy come off of the statue, and Jay, you are blasted back 10 feet, and you take 3 force damage.
3? Shit, I'll lay on hands myself and do it again. I don't give a fuck.
So we've gotten 15.
Yeah, as you are
both
knocked
times,
back, you look over and see that Johnny is staring intensely at you. You feel that your next action may significantly influence his opinion of you, J. Elwood.
Xander is kind of encouraged by Johnny saying, "Oh, we need to rip down this monument to evil." I'm gonna stand as far back as I can and just start throwing Eldritch blasts at this fucking statue.
Make me a charisma saving throw.
You're wrong. That's stupid.
And Johnny, if you hit it again, not Johnny, Jay, if you hit it again, I need another one from you too.
Charisma save. That's a 21.
That succeeds. Give me a second. Let me hear Jay's. Jay's, what did you get?
18.
Yeah, so Both of you roll damage for your things. It's a D4, Jay.
Okay.
Sure. That is 9. Sorry, that's 7 force, 2 bludgeoning.
Okay, give me 1 second.
And then 6 is, I don't know what the hell a pickaxe would be considered. Is it piercing or is it bludgeoning?
Piercing. It's
Okay,
a
then
pickaxe.
yeah, it's 6 piercing.
Because that's the point, is that its sharp point is supposed to be able to break get like the good points of it. I don't know how to explain it in smart words, but that's why it's sharp.
Can I hex the statue?
No. Okay. If you plan on hitting it again, make me another set of them.
Are we
Still not
making
done yet?
progress?
Huh?
Are we making progress?
Yeah, it starts to crack a little bit.
Xander
A
is going
magic
to
stone
advantage.
comes hurling from behind you, and Johnny will join in.
Johnny, make me a charisma save.
24, by the way. For another 6 points, because I can't roll higher than a 2 on a D4.
That's a dirty 20 on the charisma save.
You both succeed, so go ahead and give me your damage.
9 on the charisma save.
You, same thing, you get blasted 10 feet back from your current position, and you take 2 points of force damage.
That is
Gonna throw another rock.
11 force damage to bludgeoning.
Fuck it, I'll throw fire at it.
Real quick, Jay, for that one you just did, what was your attack? I mean, not your attack, your, damage.
6.
Thank you.
We're going full on angry mob.
What is, Johnny, what's your next charisma save? And
No, it's an
Vivian?
8.
Same thing. 10 feet back.
Okay, I'm gonna throw the third magic stone at it.
You also take another 2
How much
force
damage do I take?
2.
Okay, 2.
And then Vivian, I need one from you as well.
She got a flat 15.
That just succeeds. Go ahead and give me damage.
4 fire.
My third charisma save is a 26.
That succeeds. Go ahead and give me damage.
13 force, 2 bludgeoning.
Alright, Jay, what's your next charisma save?
This thing's still not done yet, huh? Another 18, which succeeded last time.
Yep. So, what's your damage?
Another 6 points of damage, dude, I swear.
And then, Johnny, what's your third charisma save?
7.
Yeah, same thing. Blasted back. You now hit a wall, and you take 2 force damage. Vivian,
Okay,
are
let
you
me know
gonna
when you
go?
want my next one.
Alright, Vivian, are
Yeah,
you
she
gonna...
keeps throwing fire. She got a 5.
Yeah, so you get blasted back 10 feet. You take 5 force damage.
14 on a charisma save, and 13 force, 2 bludgeoning.
The DC is 15. Ow. Fuck, I just punched my cup. So Xander, you take 4 force damage and are knocked 10 feet back. Jay, give me your next one.
Fucking Christ! What
Making
points does
progress?
this fucking shrine possibly have?
You're
More
almost.
than you, nerd.
I mean, yeah.
Another 18 with a 8 damage.
Believe it or
And,
not, they're not going to build this to be very flimsy.
and
But
Jay, as
firing
you
fucking spells and hitting it with picks and shit.
well, you have to make the save in order to damage it. So
Yeah, I know.
when you smack it with the pickaxe, you see this flash of blue light start to come from under the cracks, and the crack kind of like trickles all the way up to like the forehead of the statue, and it falls into pieces, shattering onto the floor, revealing at its core a glowing, very deep blue kind of mesh between marble and crystal.
Is it a beat of force?
No.
Oh, okay.
We are level 3.
How large is it?
I don't remember what Beta Force does. I just remember it's an item.
It's about a foot long.
About the size of
A mesh, like a sheet.
No, it's like just a spike of it. Just a jagged,
I want to touch it.
But it has both marble and crystal in it.
It looks, that was the best way I could describe the surface. It looks like a blend of marble and crystal in terms of, like, its texture and general vibe.
I want to touch it.
Can I make... Oh, my God.
I mean, I'm right on it. I'm gonna pick it up and I'm gonna, like, get ready to hand it over to somebody, not thinking of the ramifications of just picking the thing up.
Make me an athletics check. It's kind of stuck in there.
Athletics, sword in the stone, here we go. 21.
Yeah, that is enough. You wriggle it free from the, base of the statue, and you have a big foot-long spike of... if anyone wants to make an Arcana check, I can tell you what it is.
I will help Johnny and give him guidance.
I have not the brains for this.
What was this, the check? The skill?
Arcana.
Arcana, yeah. Okay.
Leap for advantage. With guidance, that's a 13.
You said a 13?
Damn, Groove, you're rolling like shit today.
So to kind of show y'all, the lighting in this picture is fucking awful. The crystal kind of looks like this, but it's glowing, and again, it's a foot long. And, Johnny, you, on that Arcana check, you recognize this, from somewhere in the depths of your memories as a crystal that only develops in the hells, particularly the 4th ring of hell. It is a conduit for magic. Typically, people use it for protective magic, so like wards and stuff like that. But also, it is commonly used as a light source, because when it is touched, it will light up for several hours. So what people would do is they would build lanterns out of it where it was always being touched by stone, and they would stay lit forever because they were technically always being touched.
Hell
So
yeah.
does that mean the only way that these stop glowing is if they are suspended in space?
Basically. Which is a thing that can happen in the hells, surprisingly, as weird as that sounds.
Hey, I could use it as an arcane focus. It's cool.
You can.
Yeah. Also, I have 25 good berries to pass out for those of you who pour down this symbol of oppression.
I take 6.
Alright, 19.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I would
Emiko,
take
you
5.
just sat and watched as everybody did this. The statue did crumble. But boy, at what cost?
Jay, how many HP are you missing?
None, because I had succeeded everything after the first check.
The cost was a few dozen good berries.
I mean, like I said, I just get them back on a short rest, so fucking whatever.
Vivian sighs, seeing this, and says, maybe next time we should be a bit more careful about potentially pissing off Lord of the Hells.
Careful in opposing one of the greatest evils in Teosia.
Well,
I question your leadership.
You
If you
mean
believe that is wise.
there's no need to be dramatic. Listen, the silver lining here is that all said and done, we didn't really have any negative consequences, so yay.
sure? Yes, we had the equivalent of TPing their house.
I don't think
We have
that,
done such a great victory.
I don't think that's
Your
a good
analogy
way to
is
look at things.
incomplete.
What were you saying,
Actually-
Yamiko?
I said I don't think it's a good way to look at things just because we didn't technically have any consequences. I don't think that we should keep looking at things like that. One day there are going to be consequences.
Perhaps if you point to a statue and you say this thing must go because it offends me to my core, then I will make the statue go, but maybe next time we just look a little before we leap. In general.
There
We
was
will
a
see.
secondary reason for wanting to tear down this statue, though.
Which was?
I wanted to know if it would cease the desecration of the land around it.
Viv looks around, or rather Gale does on her shoulder. Does it seem like the desecration has ended?
This room in particular feels slightly less awful to be in.
Well, maybe there's more statues that we can destroy later on. I'm sorry, Johnny, you were saying something as well? For Mr. Ophage?
We shall let it pass for now. Further evil lies ahead.
Xander, like, kind of, dusts his hands off, does the thing where he rubs his palms together and says, well, I think in the grand scheme of things, we've done a net positive here. Let's go see what else we can stir up.
You say as you slap your hands together to get the dust off, and one of them is covered in scales and sharp now. Viv says, yes, indeed.
I mean, I'm gonna be honest, this isn't the first time I've had to see a cleric over a poor affliction over something that I shouldn't have touched.
Oh, good.
That's dirty.
Yeah. So,
What? I got tetanus once. Why are you being
Viv's
weird?
already walked out.
yeah, so
Damn.
from this room, however, there are 3 ways that you can go. You can go back out into the corridor that you came from to see what was at the end of that walkway. Behind the statue, there was a tiny doorway that has not really a door, but a miniature portcullis.
Oh, I'm going there.
Ooh.
And then in the back northeastern side of the room, there is a barred door. But it's like a regular door.
Like a door that has a bar over it, or a door that is singing?
A door made out of iron bars.
Okay, I want to make sure, because this place has already been very weird. I want to check out that portcullis.
Yeah. When you walk back towards the portcullis, there is a little hole in the wall next to it that has a chain coming out of it with a little ring at the bottom for like a hand grip. And there's a bunch of runes in the hand grip that are glowing.
Xander goes to pull the chain and then remembers Mistress Deshay's words about looking before we leap and says, right. I'm gonna check out these runes. Is this thing gonna kill me if I pull it?
Make me an Arcana check.
Alright. 10?
What could it hurt?
Do it.
I pull the chain.
Yeah.
When you pull the chain, basically all of the runes like light up and the energy collects near the topmost of the little ring that you pulled. And 3 little darts come out of the chain and smack you in the face. You take 6 points of force damage. You got magic missiled.
I cast shield.
Yeah, the door does not open.
That was a joke, by the way. I don't actually have shield. You said 6 points?
Yeah.
Alright, I'm gonna eat 6 more berries.
How the hell do these berries not like make your fucking gut explode after eating so many of them?
We try not to worry about it.
Shit.
Oh.
Because it specifically says in the spell description that it provides enough nourishment to sustain you for a day.
Oh, I see. Oh, so does it like that's oh man, fucking
Yeah,
magic, dude.
in this case, enough is like half of a calorie because I've been eating a shit ton of them.
Gotcha.
Yeah, Does the portcullis open after I get magic missile?
It does not.
Are the runes still there?
They
No,
are.
out loud, Xander is like, well, fucking, what did that do then?
Well, it appears as though you got shot in the face.
Jay, do me a favor, remove this. And he points to the bars.
Righto.
While he's
Oh, go ahead.
while he's doing that, Vin's gonna go over and inspect the portcullis and see if there's another way to get it open.
Vivian, make me an Arcana check.
Oh, no.
You know, I'm actually gonna give Jay a crowbar. Because I have a crowbar.
Hey, yo, tools always make the job better.
Chess, if I am specifically not looking for magical means and just mechanical means to get it open, would it be investigation instead?
Yes.
Okay. Because she's not too concerned about the magic of it.
Yeah, we already know what the magic does. It casts magic missile.
Now there's an 18 investigation to find a non-magical way to get it open.
Basically, you can pry it in a certain way where you can tug at an earlier part of the chain that the pulley activates and basically forcefully yank it open by pulling the chain in a way it's not supposed to be pulled, but in a direction that still operates the pulley mechanism that makes a portcullis open and close.
So that's something we can just do now? Or does it take any sort of ability check?
It would take an athletics check.
Yeah, when you're done with that.
Speaking of athletics checks.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you rather break it or use the new way that Vivian found to open the door?
Break it or buy it.
You know, it hurt me, so I'd rather break it.
Well, the question that I would have is, is there a way for us to get back through once we've used the pulley to open it correctly? Like, will it stay open? Is this something that you determined, or?
Yeah, you can jam it to make it stay opened that way.
Nah, that's too risky. I'm gonna break the fucker.
All right.
Yeah, so the crowbar gives you advantage on the athletics checks, and I'm giving you guidance.
It's a 25.
Yeah, you...
I don't want somebody to de-jam that, or even worse, an undead that just fucking rises or some shit to unjam that and then lock us in. No thank you.
Yeah, you basically pry it open and force the bars out of the ground that they're stuck in and basically forcefully ram it upwards with the crowbar. And then, since you got a 25, you basically are able to use the crowbar to fucking, like, force the metal to bend in a way where it won't be able to fall down again, leaving the portcullis open.
Xander watches all of this in awe and looks up at Sir Elwyn and says, "You are really fucking strong."
You need to be when you're, well, on the path to glory.
Where are you taking? You should hang on to that. Gestures to the crowbar.
Righto.
And forward we go.
Yeah, in the room that this was guarding, it is very, very dark in here. And there is the moment you cross this threshold, there is a slight whispering in the air, and you hear the rustling of chains, and you hear a soft, warbled voice coming from the inside that says,
"Is someone there?"
Xander just softly out loud says, "No."
You feel 2 blinks in the universe. No. You hear the rustling of chains again. Please. It hurts.
Xander once again looks up to Jay. Friend or foe?
I don't know, let me check.
I'm gonna use Divine Sense.
Remind me, it's been several months.
Is it a celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet of me?
A fiend.
A fiend?
Oh. I'm thinking foe. Strong inkling to foe.
Hey,
Hey, me.
can I try to sense this thing's dreams? In the sense of not sleep dreams, but desires dreams?
Make me a perception check at advantage.
Am I able to see this thing? I do have dark vision. I know that like you can only see so much with dark vision, but am I able to make out anything from this
You can
entity?
see a silhouette of a person, chained by their neck, their hands, and both of their ankles.
Is there anything else in here?
No. There appears to be sconces for torches, but there are no torches in them. But you see that this person is on the floor, because anytime they try to stand up, the manacles would trip them. They also have a tail. They do, but they are broken. Both of them.
Oh.
Xander is going to very slowly approach.
Perception check.
10. You know what? For this, 10 is actually enough. You try to peer into this creature's hopes and dreams, and the only thing you see is them being freed of the manacles. And going back to, you see like the setting again of a beautiful forest where it doesn't have any sky but a stone ceiling above them, and there's a city that has multiple infernal-like creatures roaming about, lesser demons and stuff like that who live in this place. And you see them sitting passively by a large lake with the city behind them.
Yeah, Johnny will approach with Xander.
So,
Yep.
let's say hypothetically I do get you out of these chains. What's next for your adventure, I suppose?
If these chains are broken and it, like, they kind of, like, strain against them, I'll get sent back home. Please.
Insight check.
Yeah, I'll take an insight check too.
Make an insight check.
Wait-os. You know, that's a solid 10.
20.
21.
Hell yeah.
This individual seems to be telling the truth, but they also seem to be purposefully not giving you specific information. But the "I will be sent home" seems to be true.
Excuse me, you?
Please.
Why are you chained up down here? It seems like this place would be more to your benefit than your, whatever the opposite of benefit is.
Detriment.
Thank you.
Detriment.
I was chained here because I disobeyed my father.
Well, what did he ask you to do that made you disobey him?
He wanted me to become a disruptor knight, and I tried to escape.
Who's your father?
The individual looks at the ground and then looks up
And says, I'm a bastard child of Priscilla.
Xander kind of looks down at the draconic scales that have formed on his hand from that fucking amulet. Kind of looks down at the bruising from the statue beating the shit out of him. So, let me get this straight. Freeing you would piss off your father.
I don't know. It's been so long, I don't think it matters anymore. I've been here for 100 years.
But hypothetically, it would irritate your father.
No, I don't think so.
Xander's giving it an expression like you should really say yes.
Yes?
Good enough for me.
Magic stone.
What are you magic stoning?
The chains.
Okay, I was just double checking that you weren't about to execute her.
Put her down. The 17 to hit for 8 damage on the first.
Yeah, the manacle around one of their wrists snaps.
Eldritch Blast on the other manacle.
Yeah, and I won't make it take too much time in this because of how close we are to the end, but basically, with a little bit of finagling and a lot of magical force, you also all find that only magical force will break these. The individual is free, and you notice that on their back are what appear to be nubs like they're supposed to have wings, but there is necrotic flesh rot where it looks like somebody cut them off.
Does the necrotic flesh rot seem to be a disease?
It definitely seems to be infected.
Can I fix that?
Can I also fix that? Can Jay and I fix it collectively? Can we work together to fix it?
Yeah.
Him presumably with lay on hands and me with lesser restoration?
Yeah.
Yeah. At first you both approaching them kind of freaks them out a little bit and they think that you're going to hurt them, but then they roll their shoulders with relief as the infection is cleared from the nubs of their wings.
Yeah, and Xander looks at them and says, I mean, to be fair, if I was going to hurt you, it would have been a lot safer and easier to do when you were chained up and couldn't move.
And if they were trying to hurt you, I wouldn't have let them unless we unchained you and made sure that you were, not being executed, because that's kind of messed up.
Indeed.
Thank you. I'm sorry. I don't have anything for you. I don't have.
Do you know what lays below in the rest of this temple?
They nod very quickly.
You're not the rot that the moths spoke of, are you?
No. That was the demons doing.
They attacked the people that your father had sent?
Yes. Disruptor Knights, they're called. They're my father's loyal servants, although he's my father, but I'm not truly one of his children. I'm not a demigod.
What's below the temple? I need you to focus, okay?
The avatar of Us the Miralock. The demon itself left this place a long time ago after it became bored of its emptiness, leaving its avatar locked deep down. You'll need the key in order to get into it.
And as somebody who is very clearly not allied with your bastard of a father, what would your recommendation in dealing with this creature be? We kill it, we fight it, we free it?
You should definitely kill it.
That's good enough for me.
But for a bit of an explanation, I'm not truly one of Priscilla's children. I had his DNA forcefully put into me, allowing me to become a vessel for a Disruptor Knight, but I resisted and resisted. It was exhausting, but I didn't want to let me turn them into one of those things. So they chained me up down here until I agreed.
Where's the key?
It's on the other side of the... This place is very big. It's on the opposite side from where we are now, though. There's another walkway in the worship room that'll start to lead you through there, albeit through a labyrinth.
Can you guide us through this labyrinth?
I can try, though after a certain amount of time I will disappear, as it were. I'll be taken back to the hells where I'm from.
Well, it sounds like we don't have a lot of time to waste.
Yeah, I look like a Drakir in appearance, but I am one of the lesser demons.
You're from the side of the hells that isn't controlled by Priscilla, then.
I am. I want so badly to go home.
Xander pulls out a piece of parchment and says, If I give this to you, will it travel with you when you leave?
Yes, anything I hold on my person.
Xander is going to write this individual an IOU for one wish to be redeemed 2 years from now.
Oh, okay.
Thank you? They hold on to it and put it in the pocket of the rags that they're wearing, basically.
Sadly, I'm still a genie in training at the moment, but once I have taken my mantle fully, we'll be able to talk business.
My name is Yellos, by the way. Nice to meet all of you.
I am Prince Xander, and it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance as well. Now, you're running out of time, and we really need to find our way through this dungeon. Let's get moving, shall we?
Quick question. Do you want to get rid of everything in this dungeon?
Well, so far, the only thing we've seen in this dungeon is skeletons that tried to rise up and kill us, and a bunch of evil bastards, so yes, tentatively?
Well, through the way I assumed you entered here, there's some beasts down that hall. If you don't want to run the risk of them getting released, possibly with all of the activity within this place, you might see to it that they are killed.
We shall.
Then I'll lead you there first.
I promise this isn't throwing you into the depths of danger. Not on purpose, anyway. I'm warning you. They are very scary, but... you seem
We
like
can handle
adventurers.
Nay, you have done well. Let us go.
Yeah, and as they lead you back, mostly through the way you came, I believe we will end it off there.